Well, I just figured Captain Jack.
Lane messed up my opening.
Hmm.
Lane's over here talking about Captain Jack.
You're not live yet, fool.
I am live, Lane.
You're
I am
live right now.
I am live. What is up, everybody? Welcome back once again to Hot Toys Hotline Live, episode 88. 88, guys. We got 10 people watching already, right off the rips. Tells me you guys missed us. You missed us last week. Yeah, guys, sorry we had to take off last week, but we're here this week. And let me tell you, I've got a page worth of information and then some to talk about. So a lot of great stuff to talk about tonight. Some really exciting stuff and some debatable, controversial stuff. Some people had some issues with some stuff that released recently. So we're going to talk about that, share our thoughts on it, get your guys' thoughts on it in the chat. Of course, as we always like to do. Guys, as you're popping in, feel free to say what's up. Tell us where you're popping in from. We always like to hear from you guys. Real quick, though, we have an amazing panel tonight. The OG crew is here, and Mike should be joining us very shortly. We got Lane, the legendary Lane. He's calling himself Legend Lane. He's legendary Lane Kramer, the Midnight Collector. Many names he goes by, but Lane, thank you so much for being here, my friend. I hope you're doing well. I'm glad you were able to make it on time tonight. I know you were rushing over to get here with us, so we really appreciate that. And I know there's some exciting stuff to talk about for you tonight, Lane, so thank you so much for being here. I don't know if Lane heard anything I said, but Lane, thank you so much for being here. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh, you must have been muted because when we were all looking at you, were just like.
He wasn't. He was just standing there smiling.
I was considering freezing on you.
Oh yeah, I pull this gag on Lane all the time backstage. I pretend like I'm frozen. So that would have been perfect, Lane, to get me back. But Lane, thank you so much for being here. We also have Sean, the Hot Toys Nightmare, here with us tonight. Sean, really excited to have you here tonight to hear your thoughts on a lot of this stuff because there's a lot to talk about, a lot of good stuff, and that Anakin especially. I'm very interested to hear what you have to say about that because there's been a lot of debate about the Chosen One this week. So, Sean, thank you so much for being here.
Well, Hotline, I'm really glad to be here right now. Okay, we got a lot of things to talk about. Collecting Madness, good to see you. Santa Kramer, where is my swoop bike?
The world may never know. Maybe next
know where
Christmas.
it should be.
On that short skateboard going off a long pier.
Dude, the thing is like Lane has the best opportunity right now to make it by this coming Christmas because those bikes are so discounted. He won't even be paying retail for them. So you never know, man. You never know what could happen.
With that discount, you also pay less in taxes, right? And I believe they're now $5 for shipping.
There you go. There you go, Lane. Something to think about. Food for thought. Finally, though, we have Chris, the Collecting Madness, here tonight. Chris, thank you so much for being here, my friend.
Thank you for that intro, Connor. And as you can see, just sitting here in the collection room, waiting for the live to officially begin. If you are tuning in here, be prepared as we have a lot to talk about. Back to you, Connor.
I never knew that a tech deck could be used as a microphone, but you've proven me wrong. So thank you for that grand introduction. We got some awesome people here in the chat already. 19 people watching so far. Thank you so much, guys, for being here.
Underestimated the tape deck is.
That is true. It has, he might not be able to do many tricks with it, but he can use it as a microphone. Yeah. What does that say? Does that say boobies?
Yeah, I love boobies. It's for breast cancer.
Nice. That's cool. I didn't know that was a thing. Guys, once again, you let Chris beat you in the chat. First comment in, Chris saying what's up to everybody. And yes, we are glad to be back. Chris, he had a longer hiatus than us because he had to miss the week, and then I took off last week, and he was like, why'd you do this to me? And, now we're here, though. We're all here. The whole crew's here. So thank you so much, guys, for being here. We got one of our great moderators here in the chat, X-Man Supreme. X-Man Supreme says, hello all. What's up, my friend? I hope you're doing well. I know you're here, and I know you're excited for that Wolverine. You're our resident Wolverine guy, so can't wait to hear your thoughts. And I'm sure you'll be interested to hear about the Mondo Cyclops that just went on for pre-order as well. That's a really cool piece, so definitely excited to hear your thoughts tonight on those for sure. We got Boba Fettuccine in the house. What's up, my friend? So great to see you as always. Boba Fettuccine says, how we doing all? Well, we're doing great. Some awesome stuff to talk about tonight. We're here with our friends talking about 1/6 scale figures. What better time, Thank you so much for being here. we got Geo, the movie canon, a channel member and a great friend. Geo, thank you so much for being here. Geo says afternoon collectors. Yes, afternoon for you, evening for us, guys. It's we're in East Coast, so 7:05 p.m. for us. But thank you so much for being here, Geo. Always great to have you here. I'll be making my way over on Geo's channel very soon. I know Chris was on Figures Talk very recently, so if you want to check out an episode with Chris over on Geo's channel, definitely check out the movie canon on YouTube. Let's see. We got Yomo in the house. What's up, Yomo? The giveaway master lately, it seems. Yomo is just he's taken the big dog pound luck for sure. Yomo says, "What's up, everyone? What's up, Yomo? Thank you so much for being here, bro. I hope you're doing well." Let's see who else we got here tonight. We got Moose in the house, a channel member and a good friend. Moose says, "Hello, community of collectors. Got Vader, Obi-Wan Kenobi Deluxe exclusive in hand. Enigma Riddler on the way from Kit." That's awesome, dude. Congrats on that. I still haven't had a chance to open my Kenobi Vaders. I got them delivered about a week and a half ago. I've been so busy. I also have the Enigma. I think my King of Enigma should be here any day now. Of course, I'll be doing a review on that one for you guys, so stay tuned on that. Cannot wait to check that one out. I'm really excited for that piece. Thank you so much for being here, though, Moose. I very much appreciate it. And there you go. I told you. I knew X-Man was going to be excited for that Cyclops. I have not dove into the Mondo line. I probably won't just because I'm waiting to see what comes from the Hono Studio stuff, but that piece is really tempting, and I think that's probably one of my favorite pieces thus far from the Mondo X-Men lines, just because those colors just look so nice, and I like that swap out jacket piece. That's just really cool to me. We got Justin, how you figure, in the chat. What's up, Justin? Justin says, did someone say Hot Toys Hotline? What's up, bro? Thank you so much for being here, as always. Justin was on our most recent episode. We had such a great time. It was awesome to have him back. So, guys, if you haven't already, check out Justin over at How You Figure. Such a great guy and a great channel, and I highly recommend checking him out. We got Don Prime in the house. Don Prime says, chosen one, you say. Don, come on now. Don't disrespect the GOAT. Don't disrespect him. What's up, Don? Thank you so much for being here, bro. It's always great to see you. And Don says that Lane will still sell. I don't know. Lane, what are you selling now, dude? Don's saying you're going to sell something.
Nothing
Lane said,
right now.
No comment from Lane. We got Brick Artemis in the chat. What's up, Brick? Thank you so much for being here, bro. Brick's got something really fun planned, guys. If you want a little teaser of what's planned, check out my story on Instagram. It's going to be something involving me. I'll be there. And I know a lot of other really great people will be there, but I don't want to spoil it yet. But definitely check out Brick's Instagram, his YouTube, and check out my story if you want to get a little teaser of what's to come. Tom Daly is in the house. Tom says, sorry I'm late. Tom, it's okay. You're never late. You're always on time when you're here with us. I very much appreciate you being here. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. And Tom also says, I'm really excited for Mace, and my Maju cases should be coming in real soon. Well, that's awesome, dude. I know that's a long, long wait for a lot of people. I finally did get some emails, guys. My Mace Windu is about to ship. My C-3PO from Return of the Jedi is about to ship. A lot of stuff's about to ship for me. So, and a lot's incoming as well. Catwoman. Finally getting my Catwoman, so I'm excited. A long wait for sure, but very excited to finally get all this stuff in hand. Guys, I think that's everybody. If I missed you, as always, I will. Oh, I can't miss Funky Cold Santa. Come on now. Funky Cold Santa says, what's up, Connor and peeps? What's up, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here, as always. I just realized, guys, I don't have my music. What am I doing? I got to set the vibes. Give me one sec, guys. Let me see. I know Lane was, like, really missing the music, and I was like, Lane, why are you so sad? And it's because the music wasn't playing. I think we're good now. Is it playing? It's playing. There you go, Lane. I knew you were sad for a reason. You should have just told me, dude. You should have just said something. But guys, we're gonna get started, and we're gonna get started talking about Anakin Skywalker here. Now, as I said earlier, there's been some controversy surrounding this figure. You know, admittedly, Hot Toys put out those photos, and I feel like the lighting really wasn't the best. I feel like they could have done a much better job photographing it. Shout out to Figure Frenzy Universe here. We're taking a look at his video because I felt like as I was scrolling through, I felt like his lighting was the most fair for this sculpt. Because I definitely think like a white light, soft white light looks a lot better on this sculpt than like a harsh, like yellowish light. So I wanted to pull up this video just so we can kind of get a better look at it. guys, I know a lot of people are really going in on this sculpt, and for me, I don't think the sculpt is bad at all. When I look at it side by side with the prototype, I think, yeah, of course, there's a bit of degradation, as you see very often with a lot of head sculpts, but overall, I think it looks pretty good. I'm pretty satisfied with it. The other debate that a lot of people were having was the clothing, the tailoring on the clothing. A lot of people were saying that the clothing was very loose. But if you look at photos of Anakin from Attack of the Clones, or clips from the film, his clothing was very loose. And the other thing that I've noticed as well that a lot of people were bringing up was like the color of the brown underlayers on the tunic and everything. And that also has a lot to play with lighting as well. I've seen in these photos, some it looks like a darker brown, and the others it looks a lighter brown. So I feel like this is just one of those figures, like the photographs and stuff haven't been doing it much justice. So seeing it here in this video, though, I think it looks pretty good, guys, especially in this shot here. I was really worried about the baby hairs initially, because that was kind of a unique feature on this sculpt. And I feel like Hot Toys did a pretty decent job on it. Is it 100% the prototype? No, the prototype was spot on, perfect. Could it get any better than that? A lot of us were saying when that prototype went up. But I'm pretty happy with it, guys. I do want to see it in hand so I can make my final judgment. But seeing it in some whiter light and some decent photos and in this video here, I think it looks pretty good. Chris, I'm going to pass it to you, because you and I were kind of like going back and forth looking at different photos and kind of trying to gauge our opinion after seeing those initial first photos from Hot Toys. Seeing it in this video and seeing it like the photos that we were talking about on Instagram, how are you feeling about it right now?
Better than I was. So like a lot of people, I think I was very skeptical at first, especially seeing like what the photos that Hot Toys has put out or whatever. It's definitely still not the prototype to me. Obviously, that one was like superior. The hair is still a little bit dark for me, but seeing these in-hand photos of other people who've actually had the proper lighting closer to what you would get in hand kind of makes me feel a little bit better. The color of the tunic still varies, I guess, depending on camera or like in person or whatever. So I'm definitely gonna have to see what that looks like in person for myself. And then other than that, I think they nailed like lightsabers. As far as the tailoring, which you had touched on, it is supposed to be looser and baggier, but I think translating it into figure form, because it is a thicker material when it gets smaller, at least figure-wise, it doesn't look as flowy or baggy as it did on the actual, like on Hayden. Especially when you look at movie stills and stuff like that, it just drapes way differently on his arms, and it's kind of hard to do that when you have wires in there to stop it from doing that. But other than that, I'm still really happy with it. Still looking forward to it. Is it like 100% what I wished I would have gotten based on what I saw with the prototype? No, but I am still extremely happy. It's still Anakin. Like, I can see Hayden in there. It isn't completely like off the chart like I think some people are making it. And I think it's one of those in hands where, yes, these photos look good, but I think in hand will make it just a tad smidge like better. Other than that, my only other gripe is that I found out his tunic or not the tunic, but the robe and the tabards have magnets on it, and that's how the robe stays there. I know that magnets can do like serious damage once being placed on something for a long time. And so I'm pretty worried about those tabards not lasting a very long time. I spoke to you about that. You had said maybe, pick up from a parting, whoever's parting or whatever. But other than that, yeah, still getting him. He's still coming home. Still happy about it. Just a few little minor ticks, and that's it.
Yeah, and I feel like that famous coping phrase that we use, it's going to look better in hand. I do think with this one that will apply here. Often with these figures that, some of them just don't photograph well. The lighting has to be just right, or it kind of washes it out, as some people are saying in the chat. like Padme was like that, for example. You know, the initial shots of Padme weren't that exciting, and a lot of people got really worried about that. And some people, you know, it didn't deliver for them. But for me, after I saw her in person, I'm like, yeah, she's pretty good. I really like how the figure turned out, and I think I'll be happy with this one as well. I will say I really do like as well something I didn't mention, the hair seam on this one. It reminds me of the Green Goblin sculpt, how the back of the head goes on. Like basically, right, it's so hard to see that seam, which is really nice to see because I never really was a huge fan of how Hot Toys used to do it because there was always like a bit of a visible seam. So to see some innovation there is really nice for sure. Yeah, it's nice. It's a cool figure. It's Anakin Skywalker, so I'm excited for it regardless because it's my favorite character. But I'm kind of right there with you, Chris. I don't think it's perfect, but there is, I think, some stuff to like about it. And I think the sculpt is still very good. Even with the degradation, I think it's still a very good head sculpt. I know it's not going to be it for everybody, and those initial photos did not do it justice, so I don't blame people for kind of saying, like, wow, Hot Toys really screwed this one up. And it's such an important character, too, right? It's Anakin Skywalker, so of course, you don't get it right, you're going to piss people off. That's just how it is.
It makes me nervous about the artisan, too. And I know a lot of people are also complaining about how these wires are behind. I'm personally going to actually take the time to probably butts with it and take the tunic off and all that stuff and like feed the wire through it all.
Yeah.
I can adjust it to how I want anyway. But.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think this one, it's going to be very dependent upon how you adjust them. And we kind of saw that there. I felt like in his photo and that little rotation towards the end, the clothes look really clunky. And again, it's just, it's a matter of futzing with it. It's the type of outfit, too. Just the way that it layers. It's going to look thick. I can't really blame Hot Toys 100% for that, but yeah.
My final thought, sorry to cut you off, because I saw it, that Anakin comparison with Revenge of the Sith and him, if I'm being still completely honest, I see more of Hayden in this sculpt than I do the old Revenge of the Sith. I told you long ago, I think there was something always off about it, like, you could kind of see it, but, like, actually seeing it, like, and especially compared to the artisan one, you can see, like, how outdated it kind of had become, but yeah, that right there, that comparison was pretty good.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I still really like the original Revenge of the Sith sculpts, and it's like the Obi-Wan sculpt too. A lot of people don't like the original Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan sculpt. I like them, but of course, with Hot Toys technology now, I feel like, you know, that artisan Anakin's going to come out, and that's just going to be like the top tier artisan, or excuse me, Anakin head sculpt, and I'm okay with that. You know, it just comes with the natural progression of things. By the way, big what's up and shout out to Austin Nicholas, guys. If you haven't already, check out Austin's. He did his update on his cases. Definitely check that out. I still have to watch it myself, but I know Austin has been really excited to put those together, so I can't wait to check it out. You guys should too, though. Chris, I feel like you were totally unprepared for this because I don't see a belt in your hand or anything. You got a tech deck, but you know, Big Dog Pound is here, Chris. Like
a tech deck. A tech.
Oh yeah, I done it now. I done it now. Big Dog Pound. I don't know if you're ready for this. I don't know if you're ready. An unprepared Chris is a dangerous Chris, because here he is now with the belt. I'm gonna pull him up. We got to put him on the big screen, big time. Here he is.
A tech deck? No, we got more than. Get rid of that. We got more than a tech deck. We got championships over here, because that's what champions do. We talking about the chosen one. We're talking about Big Dog Pound. Big Dog's a champion. We all champions around here on this panel. Welcome to the stream, brother. We just getting started. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And while you're down there, hit the like button. Woo!
There you go, Big Dog Pound. What's up, my friend, Big Dog Pound? Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're doing well. It's not a Hot Toys Hotline stream without you, so big thank you for hanging out with us tonight. We also have 16 Star Wars Pimpazoid in the chat. 16 Star Wars Pimpazoid says, definitely not displaying Anakin with the robe. The robe doesn't look right. I mean, I think it will require a lot of like playing with it and futzing with it to get it to look right. I personally just prefer the look without the robe on. I was never going to display it with the robe on personally. A lot of my Jedi figures actually don't have the robe on them anyway, so definitely following that same route as you. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. Before we move on to Lane, I want to read a couple more comments. Brick says Attack of the Clones, Anakin, or Feral Predator. If you can only have one, dude, that's hard. That's hard, man. I gotta go Anakin though, dude. Anakin is, you know, the end all be all. He's my favorite character ever in any show, movie. I have to go with Anakin, but I say that, you know, I don't want to disrespect the Feral Predator though. If we're talking about in figure form, like which one I think is going to turn out better, maybe the Feral Predator, dude. You got to wait and see, but I'm very, very excited for that Feral Predator, and I hope everybody else is. You got to share the Feral Predator love. Yeah, that's a hard one, dude. Good question. We're not playing this or that, Brick. What are you doing, man? That's a good question, though. We got Graham, the Jedi Knights Watch, here in the chat, and then a little birdie told me it's somebody's birthday. So, guys, if we could, we got 43 people watching. Could we give a big birthday shout-out to Graham in the chat, please? Happy birthday to you. I think he's 25. I think that's what he told me. I think he turned 25, something like that. I don't know, something like that. But thank you so much for being here, bro. On your birthday.
Happy birthday.
On your birthday. I think it's his birthday, guys. So I think you guys should all say happy birthday to him.
Birthday time.
And then you get a song from Lane. Not very often do you get serenaded by Lane. So,
fortunately for most people, is here.
Lane, while we got you singing, and guys, I'm gonna put up a poll as well because I want to hear you guys' thoughts on the Anakin. But Lane, as we're taking a look at this video here of Anakin, what are your thoughts on this Anakin? And do you think the sculpt is a huge downgrade? You see, I have the banner down here. What are your thoughts, Lane?
I do think it's a downgrade, but at the same time, we'll talk about later where this seems to be happening lately on some anticipated figures. I think that partially could just be on for at least for Hot Toys, just how many figures they have to get put out, right now for where they're at, still trying to get caught up. I think even it feels like we've talked about sometimes they're in perpetual catch-up mode. My other problem is like this shows, I still hate these stupid lightsabers to light up just for that, like seeing that right there is those stupid wires behind it and everything. I think it looks awful. I don't think you can make those wires not look terrible. This is Reagan?
Yeah, I'm jumping to MRC's video just for some variety.
Yeah, he really likes to stretch his figures, man. It was interesting because I did, ask him when he had gotten it, and just like same day he posted this, what he had thought about the robes and everything. Because you guys were talking about, the over robe and stuff for him, and. That was kind of my biggest takeaway. It wasn't even really the head sculpt, was the robes, because I thought the robes looked a lot tighter and a lot more, it seemed kind of more detailed in the pictures for the prototype. But when I saw them, that was the first thing I noticed. I went, man, they look kind of baggy on him, like he hasn't fully grown out into them. Because I thought just the robe, and I'm sure they were probably the same thing almost or something, but I thought the robes looked a little bit nicer on the prototype version, just for the pictures we got to see. So not having seen him in person or anything like that, it's hard really to say. But like, see how loose that looks and everything? It feels like he hasn't grown up quite into his robes there. But I mean, he told me
he got some hand-me-downs, Lane.
Yeah, well, it could be possible. Even though the Jedi are well funded. It seems like that was kind of the thing for me that caught me a little bit, was I thought the actual tailoring in the robe seemed a little bit just off in comparison. But he told me it's like they're just standard Jedi robes. He's like, they're not great, but it's not like they're awful or anything. I think that is my only kind of real disappointment with the figure, is I think versus looking at the things for the prototype, I thought that looked like really amazing stuff. I mean, they look same quality as Mace, so it's not like the ones for Mace were terrible or anything like that, lacking in production. So, and you know what? They might be putting more time and effort into the artisan, because that's like kind of the big, to be brutally honest, guys, that's a more important figure of these two Anakins, is that artisan one, because that has bigger implication, since it's the first of an entirely quote type of line.
It's unfortunate though, because a lot of people weren't able to get the artisan, so the one that people were able to get, you would hope that they would focus on that one equally as much.
I know, but guys, these aren't supposed to be bad. That's the thing. But I think they looked to me originally like they were going to be a little bit maybe improved, a little bit better, and they're as good as any Jedi robes. Okay, it's not like they're terrible or anything. They're still really good. The head sculpt I think was fine. It's what I expect from Hot Toys at this point. It definitely does not look as good as the original to me. Like I as soon as I looked at it, I kind of went, whoa, a little bit. But so it went from, I think the Anakin was like a 9.8. If you go off like review comic scoring, like something, I thought that was a 9.8. And I think now he's maybe like a B plus.
That's fair.
Kind of thing. Like, an 80, a high, like a B plus, 88, 89%. So he's still really good. And he's better than some, but I think the other thing is we've had some really banger head sculpts or other figures that have come out. Like I'll just use one I got earlier this year, Dead Strange. Now, admittedly, that's not exactly the same comparison because he's kind of, zombieified and everything. But the detail on that figure with the head and everything looked like literally like the CGI model come to life. Now, I agree because someone else pointed out that's a CGI model versus a live action person. But I was like, shouldn't that make it harder a little bit? Because it's not actually real. So sometimes how you look at things can be affected by that.
Yeah, I suppose so.
But I think that may be just kind of Anakin, a little bit of the curse, and maybe people are being a little bit more critical just because of the mace and how the mace came.
Well, that and like this
whether
is
you
such
agree
a
with it or
sought
not.
after character to have a figure of too. Of course, people are going to be like really upset if it's not 100% there. I get it. It's Anakin Skywalker at the end of the day.
Yeah,
So-
that looks not so good. Just loose on there.
Yeah.
But I think it feels like displaying him just with his regular Jedi robes is going to feel like.
Yeah, I think it looks much. Yeah, I would agree. I think it looks much better, and you can see he was pointing out the magnets there that Chris brought up earlier. Towards that
with
shoulder area.
with kind of the pleather especially. And
Yeah,
stuff
that's
like
probably
that.
going to leave an imprint in the pleather for sure.
Really ruined it because I was gonna pose them with the robes, and I had no problem until I saw that, and I was like, well,
Yeah, because I was concerned with those that because they're a little bit thicker and looser, maybe the full outfit, for his regular Jedi robes wouldn't look quite as baggy, just with all that kind of covering them a little bit. So that might work and do a cool Jedi kind of action pose. But I'm definitely probably not going to put that on him now. But overall, I still think the figure for me, I'd still have it as a B plus to A minus figure. It's still really good. It's the only Attack of the Clones Anakin you're probably ever going to get. But I do think now, and I admit for myself, I ended up getting this guy. I do have him on pre-order, but he was kind of my replacement because I didn't get Artisan Anakin. So if I have a waitlist conversion, then this guy's going bye-bye,
That's
instantaneously.
That's fair.
Because I'll just put him with my.
I'm keeping him. I gotta have all Anakins, all Hot Toys Anakins.
Well, for you or somebody, I think you'll have the perfect progression where starting with him, like adult Anakin, where you've got that guy, maybe leading to Clone Wars.
Yeah, and I got Dooku, I got Mace. There's so many different figures I could put him with. So I'm really excited to fit him into my displays because I got a lot of companion pieces.
You can do a great progression. You have him. If you have the Clone Wars Anakin, Artisan Revenge of the Sith Anakin, and that Obi-Wan Darth Vader showing the partial helmet head, and then Return of the Jedi with the Sebastian Shaw, you've got an entire progression of basically adult Anakin, 19 to mid 40s when he died.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, dude. I mean, I totally agree. I mean, It's a shame because I wish we were sitting here saying they nailed the Attack of the Clones Anakin Skywalker, but you got to kind of take what you got. There's no take backs, as they say.
Yeah.
But I do agree without the robe. I think he looks.
I do want to throw a question out to the entire panel. We all comment after Sean discusses this Anakin. If we could take a couple minutes to now look back because we've got the entirety. Now we haven't got in hand all completely, but I mean just impressions now. For how do we think the entire Attack of the Clones line came out? So now all 9 figures are technically have been released. And how do we feel? Did it come out pretty good for the anniversary? Just in general, maybe some improvements. Or maybe if they'd done some less figures in the line, maybe they could have put more focus on some guys like that. Or just in general, how you guys' impressions now that this line is now actually not at hand, but has been released and is done. I'd like you maybe spend a couple minutes how we feel everything turned out because it was a 9-figure line, so it's a pretty big one.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Brandon Altman, he says having him cutting down some Tuscans after his mom's passed. Oh, there's another display idea, Lane. Get a bunch of those Tuscan Raiders and kind of have them going at it.
Hey, I think Leslie Headland would probably love to recreate a scene like that.
Probably, I'm sure. But what's up, by the way, Brandon? Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We got Ricky's World of Trade. I love that name. I also love the Blacklight Funko Pops there in the profile picture. Ricky says, nailed that Anakin head sculpt. Excited for my Anakin. Anything Anakin is a grail icon. Absolutely.
So
Spread in the good word about Anakin Skywalker, my friend.
Is Ricky like the OG Star Wars fan of Anakin Skywalker, where OG is like is the Boba
I hope
Fett
so.
of
I hope
all
so.
Boba
I need more people in Team Anakin with me.
If there's an Anakin, if it says Anakin, you have to buy it. Like, there must be all Anakin.
Truer words were never said. Truer words were never said. And also, guys, thank you so much, everybody, for saying happy birthday to Graham. He deserves it. He is the nicest guy ever, and he's the GOAT. So thank you guys for saying the kind words to Graham over there. I thought he was turning 25. He said he's almost 40. I mean, what's the difference, right? Sean, moving on to you. Sean, moving on to you. I'm curious to hear your thoughts, Sean. You know, the ultimate question I have here on the screen, is this sculpt a huge downgrade? Think of that as you answer your question. And also, did you pick this one up? I know we didn't really throw that in. I guess we kind of worked it in as we were talking about. But Sean, what are your thoughts on this Anakin? And do you think the sculpt took a bit of a hit between this and the prototype?
So it did take a hit from the prototype to now. I do see Hayden Christensen, though, but only from the side, not directly from the front. However, I have not seen it in person. And yes, we do like to think, okay, maybe it's better in person, just so on and so forth. But with this one, I don't think it will be. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I don't think it's going to be better in person. I think with how we're receiving this and everything, it's just not going to be that great unless you have them like facing to the side or something.
Let me ask you this. Do you think, I should have asked everybody else this, do you think this is better or worse than how the Mace sculpt turned out? That's a hard one, right? That's a tough question.
Better.
I don't know.
I think
I think I would say better, and you know, I was the champion of Mace Windu, and that's not saying much, I guess, but I want to think that I think this turns out better than Mace, because I
can see Hayden in here, but Samuel L. Jackson is hard to find in that figure for me.
Yeah,
it is a tough one though, because they both were very controversial, and a lot of people were like, use certain angles, including us. We talked about it. That's a tough question to answer. Maybe
I think Mace would probably be worse. The reason why is when I see the Mace Windu that was released versus announced, I see more details in the facial features from Clone Wars, the animated series, than I do with Mace Windu from Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, or Revenge of the Sith.
I would agree. And I think that's poll worthy. So I'm putting up a poll for that. I want to hear everybody in the chat. I want to hear your thoughts. If you had to pick one between these two, which one turned out better? The recent Mace Windu that just got released, or this Attack of the Clones Anakin here? I'm very curious to hear what people say. I'm on board with Chris and Sean. I do think I see Hayden more in this than I would see Samuel. And I still really like the Mace sculpt. I just think it's very like, it's like a cartoony sculpt to me. It has a very like cartoony aspect to it. But
I also don't plan on using that hand that he's putting on, like the bionicle hand,
I don't
robot
either.
hand, whatever. Why couldn't they do the joints moving? They've done it with the Hot Toys T800 hand. They did it with
also,
the Revenge of the Sith one.
Right, the Revenge of the Sith one had a moving. Yeah, so I don't
understand why that's stationary like that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, most of us ain't gonna use it anyway. Like I'm not, but still, like I mean, from other releases and other robot things that they've done. I don't know.
I agree. I totally agree. And it looks like a lot of people are going with the Anakin Skywalker sculpt. That doesn't surprise me. Big Dog Pound says Anakin head sculpt over the Mace Windu head sculpt. Graham's going with the Anakin. Ricky's World of Trade says Mace Windu. Anakin sculpt is way more closer to Hayden. And Zombie says people overreacted on this one. They're doing the same thing to Aragorn. Yeah, I mean, I do think that with the head sculpt in particular, some people were really going hard on it, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. For me though, like I don't think this sculpt at least deserves like a total picketing riot. You know what I mean? I think it's still pretty good. Is it as good as the prototype? No, because that prototype was just like spot on. But I still think it looks really good in my personal opinion. And do I have a bit of bias because it's Anakin Skywalker? Probably.
I was gonna say that. I think it depends on how much you like it.
Right. It also depends on who you ask, but I still really like it. Is the outfit, a little bit off? Yeah, for sure. But I'm excited for it, and I am excited to see it in hand. And I can't wait to get it. I just can't wait to get it. I'm finally getting my Mace Windu, and hopefully Anakin is somewhere over the rainbow, and I'll be able to talk about Anakin when I have him in hand. So, guys, vote in that poll. I won't close the poll out quite yet. We're going to jump to our next really exciting topic because there's a really exciting figure that we got to talk about, right? The Facebook breaker of the week. We got to talk about the Wolverine, guys. Ian in the house. What's up, Ian? So great to see you, my friend. Guys, 63 people watching. If you haven't already, please consider dropping a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. I would very much appreciate it. Yeah, Zombie says the lightness of the robes. Yeah, and Chris and I kind of mentioned that earlier. In different lighting, that shade of brown changes very drastically. So I'm very interested to see it in person. I will just say that once again. I'm very interested to see how it looks. Ian says, I think it looks good, better than the Clone Wars one. Yeah, I mean, that was another one. The Clone Wars one was one that a lot of people weren't too hyped about. So maybe because of that expression, I think. Clinton Martin in the house. What's up, Clinton? Great to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Guys, what a beautiful, beautiful, I don't want to say surprise because we knew it was coming, but wow. Wow. I cannot wait to talk about this one, guys. Let me move us over here to the side. Give me 1 second. We'll get this out of the way. You guys, you look at prototypes of figures, and oftentimes we could say, oh, I wish Hot Toys would have done that, or I wish they would have included this, or, why did they make this decision? When I look at this figure, this is like as perfect of a prototype as it gets from Hot Toys, in my opinion. They've included everything that I would want based on what we've seen in the trailers and stuff. The seamless arms are absolutely beautiful. We're talking about the head sculpt because this is guys, this is like a 9.8, if not a 10 out of 10 prototype head sculpt. They finally absolutely nailed the Hugh Jackman likeness, and it's just extremely special. I have the 1973 version, and I really do like that figure, but this sculpt is definitely better. This sculpt is nearly perfect. In terms of a prototype, you really can't get much better than this in terms of the likeness. I really don't want to not highlight these arms here because I think they've done a pretty scary good job at replicating Hugh Jackman's actual muscle structure in his arms because it's very close, guys. It really is that close. I mean, what more could you want? You've got the Hugh Jackman head sculpt. If you get the deluxe, you get the head sculpt and the masthead. You get swap out seamless arms. Everything that we were asking for. All the stuff that we were wishing for in these streams. You guys were leaving your comments. People were talking about on Facebook. Everything that we were hoping for, we got with this figure. And it doesn't happen that often where Hot Toys just gives us everything we want, right? So this is really, really exciting. This head sculpt, guys, it's mind-blowing. I probably will never use the non-seamless arms just because I love how the seamless arms look. They just look that good. But they look good too. They look really good too. But of course, guys, everybody that was hoping for a comic-inspired look, you're going to go the sleeveless look, right? I don't know how many people are gonna say no to this head sculpt because it's that good, but I know a lot of people are going to be really excited because we got that mass head sculpt. So this is a special one, guys. I think this is one of those figures, if it turns out even remotely close to what we're seeing here, this is going to be one of those figures that a lot of people put up in their figure of the year contender when this releases. Absolutely beautiful. What a head sculpt. This is one of the best head sculpts that Hot Toys has ever shown, in my opinion. And I hope this means that with that head sculpt technology, they can really push the boundaries. We don't want to see Vampire Christian Bale again. We want to see more of this, right? This is what I'm talking about right here. This is just so exciting. It's like I've been thinking about this figure all week. I pre-ordered it day one. I had to, right? You know, this is one of the figures you gotta get if you're that excited for it. You gotta get it day one. But amazing. You guys know I love variety with all the accessories and everything. Amazing variety here. 3 different looks, and that's just the base looks. You can really swap it out. Maybe it's not accurate to the movie, but you could swap the parts back and forth however you want. So I love the variety with this. That's how I'm rocking mine, though, right there in the middle. Those seamless arms with that head sculpt, chef's kiss. Sean, we're going to jump to you. How excited are you for that? And not only that, Sean, we know that the Deadpool figure's right around the corner, so we got this, but imagine when that Deadpool drops. Sean, how good is this Wolverine from the new movie coming out? How good is this head sculpt?
It's actually really good. I'm happy with it. I like the fact that, you know, we get additional items to switch out for battle damage. However, if they would have given us an option to get like a battle damage one later where he's really messed up, I think I'd rather have that than that battle damage pieces for this. How they did it for what comes with the deluxe versus what comes with the standard edition is really weird on why they did it that way, but I think once we see the movie, we'll understand why.
Yeah.
But I think we have to see the movie first. But yeah, I did order the deluxe version. I was going to order the standard version also. However, I'm going to hold off until I see the movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I am excited for Deadpool. And I want to know what other cameos we're going to see too, because it looks like Toad is in it. From the
and Lady Deadpool as well. I'm curious to see who's playing Lady Deadpool.
I think I
the
might
rumor is that's what's her name? Taylor Swift is the rumor. I don't know.
I hope that's a lie.
I mean, she has the legs for it at least.
Yeah, I guess so.
But let's see, what else this is. Pyro's in it. There's some rumors that Bishop is actually in it also, and maybe Blade.
Blade would be cool. Blade would be cool. I would guess that they're going to use. I know it's been like a rough start with Marshall Ali, but I'm curious. Or you know, maybe they'll bring back Wesley Snipes. This is like a multiversal type of thing. You never know. That'd be cool.
Yeah, and then with the whole entire. I am surprised that we didn't get Deadpool first. You know, because
you think it's maybe because we're getting a head sculpt? Do you think we're finally getting a head sculpt, an unmasked sculpt?
Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I mean, that's the thing though, is Hot Toys has been really hesitant on giving us an announcement before the movie comes out lately.
Yeah,
And this is the first time in a while that they've done it again.
Yeah, because correct me if I'm wrong, Sean, I don't think we ever saw the cow other than that popcorn bucket, right? I think that's the only like shot of the cow that we saw.
No,
right?
Iron Studios did that 110
Oh, okay.
statue also.
Where with him and Deadpool.
Yeah,
you're
and then there's those little tiny. They're not pops, but whatever Hot Toys calls them.
Cos Come on now.
Yeah,
Cos
babies.
dude, the legendary Cos babies.
Yeah, they're not legendary to me. Anyway, so the mask was on one of them also. But I really want to see Deadpool.
I got my tickets. I'm excited. I cannot wait to see the movie. And that's just going to make you want the figure. I mean, it seems like most people in the chat are saying they day one pre-ordered this, but if you haven't ordered already, I think if the film turns out good, people are going to be super hyped on this.
But if my theory is correct, and I'm just going to state what it is, I think we're going to see another version of Deadpool get announced by Hot Toys. I think we're going to maybe see 2 or 3 others of Wolverine. I have a feeling we'll get like an exclusive where it's like the yellow and orange costume, which would be awesome because they could just use the same thing and just repaint it.
I think that brown suit, he was supposed to be wearing that in that deleted scene from Multiverse of Madness, right? I think that's what he was supposed to be wearing. That like Jurassic scene. I think they said it was the brown suit. Can't remember.
I don't know. I never saw that deleted scene.
Yeah, we never. Yeah, it never saw the light of day, but it was talked about at least.
Okay, but I do know in the Wolverine in the suitcase when he's on the plane towards the end, it does show the other uniform.
Yeah.
And I mean, me personally, I like that one, but I love the iconic, blue and yellow, which is traditional, but I like the other one better.
The blue and yellow, it's just so classic and iconic. There's something about it, and like, this is gonna pop so much on the shelf too. Like, you can't underestimate this suit and how it's gonna look. The other interesting thing, Sean, is how many people are gonna abandon their Hono one now. I mean, I know that's tough. That's tough because that's like the comic inspired one. So I don't know.
I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think the majority of people are doing it. Maybe 10 or 15%.
Yeah, I know X-Men's not going to.
If Hana was smart, they would release it now.
I know. I'm surprised.
If Howard got off of push whatever freaking prostitute's keeping him busy right now, and he just went straight into focusing on work and getting that out there, he would sell that and still have the pre-orders for this. So that way he could get something in everyone's hands right now. That's Wolverine. That's similar.
Yeah.
I think that would be the smartest thing to do as a business. Because I know people are talking about it, but I don't know anyone who's actually canceled the Hana one.
It's the price too. Those prices are so enticing. Like, I think the Wolverine was what, 160 before taxes and shipping, and then Magneto was like in the 180 range, I think. So, and after X-Men 97, I think a lot of people are going to want that Magneto now, especially.
Yeah, and I haven't finished watching X-Men 97. I started it though.
So it's so good, man. So good. Really, really
like halfway through.
But
anyway, so I mean, the switch out arms, the switch out shoulder armor is also good. The fact that we get a clean version of gauntlets and a just basic, well, it's I don't want to say battle damage, but it's more like weathered.
Yeah.
Replacement for it. I like the mouthpieces.
I was gonna say those look. That's like the signature Wolverine look too, with like him gritting his teeth like that, and that's often like very debatable if it looks good or not when Hot Toys and other companies attempt that. I think it looks awesome though, especially this one right here on the right with the little gap in between. I actually really like this one. I think it looks really good myself.
Yeah, but I think there's a lot of questions on what else we're gonna get. So people might want to hesitate or may hesitate right now on ordering like multiples of these.
I know.
I mean, I know one individual who said that he ordered 6.
Wow. Was that you, X-Men? Did you order 6?
No, it wasn't.
But, I know, I'm just joking.
With like, granted, if this was a clone, I would order 6, but
yeah, you probably. Yeah, right.
I think there's more coming, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get multiple more announcements, even a second Wolverine.
Yeah.
Before the movie. I wouldn't be surprised. But Marvel has been really hurting this year. We haven't had a lot of Marvel announcements at all. And I know we have is the 85th anniversary here in June or is it in July?
I don't know. Hot Toys recently put up a post like kind of reminding us that they have that license, but I'm very curious to see what they do with it. Very curious. Yeah. It could be anything. It really could be anything. Are they going to do comic stuff? Are they going to do like Avengers 1? I hope they do Avengers 1 stuff. That's what I really want to see.
I mean, even if they just mixed both between comic and the MCU, me personally, I would be happy if they just 2.0 all of the Avengers, the original 6.
Not the Mark 7, like, I don't really think they need to touch that one, but the rest of them, yeah. Because the Mark 7, that would technically be a 3.0. But
well, I mean, they've only done one die-cast.
Yeah, but they did the original plastic, so the die-cast 2.0. So it'd be It would still be a 3.0 technically, but I don't know. I mean, would I welcome it? Sure, it's another Mark 7. Why not? But either way, I would. Yeah, that would be best case scenario for me. If we get the OG Avengers lineup, that would be sick. I would be so excited for that. The Artisan Thor, I'm sticking to that, guys. Avengers 1, Artisan Thor. I think it's happening.
Yeah.
Everybody's throwing out some really. Everybody wants that patch Wolverine. Yeah, patch Wolverine. X-Man Supreme wants the brown suit. Dude, the brown suit would be so sick. I would love to see the brown suit on screen. Like I said, I think that was supposed to be seen in Multiverse of Madness, if I remember correctly. Loki, Artisan, or Wolverine for figure of the year. I don't know. That's tough, man. My figure of the year might end up being that Feral Predator, dude. I got to see it in hand, though. I got to see how it turns out. That's just such an exciting figure for me. And this would be figure of the year when it actually releases. I usually go by, you can do release figure of the year and then your favorite pre-order of the year. But this one's up there. But great thought, Sean. For sure. This is a beautiful figure. I love the options, and I think you're right. I think there's going to be a lot more Deadpool and Wolverine stuff. At the very least, we know we're getting a Deadpool, but I could see more because Hot Toys knows, once they bleed this dry, then they're up next is Marvel 85, so they'll probably do as much as they can from this film, I imagine, because this will probably be the biggest film for Marvel for a while. So,
well, it's the only big movie they have this year.
Yeah, it's gonna, and whatever comes after it may not be well received, so we'll see.
But, one more thing I did want to add too.
Sure.
So last year at this time, we only had 45 releases. This from January 1 to June 30th, we had 45 releases in 2023. This year we've already had 46, and we still have 10 more days to go in June.
It's crazy, man.
So, we've had 46 releases this year already. We've had 41 announcements. And the bad thing is there's still 87 figures we're waiting to have expected release dates between now and December 31st.
We're about to get killed, man.
Not to mention we have Summer Showcase coming up.
And a lot of those are like timed exclusive pre-orders to get like certain accessories and stuff. So it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt for sure. Yeah, I mean, guys, prepare your wallets. And there's a lot of invoices going out now for a lot of stuff that was behind, like Catwoman, Return of the Jedi, C-3PO, Mace, all that stuff. All that stuff's arriving in the U.S. finally. So,
Catwoman is now in stock on Sideshow.
Yeah, so you said that yesterday in the chat, and I was like, "Where's mine?" And then a couple hours later, I got my invoice for it. So I'm excited. I'm finally getting my Catwoman. I've got the Bat Pod waiting for her. I'm still undecided on how I'm going to pose her on that because I know that suit can't be very forgiving. But yeah, I'm really excited for it. But Chris, I want to move on to you. We're going to jump around. Chris, I want to move on to you about this Wolverine because you don't currently have a Wolverine in your collection. And guys, I'm going to close this other poll real quick because I have another question for you guys that I want to put in poll form. 78% of the chat said that the Anakin Skywalker sculpt turned out better than the Mace Windu. Doesn't surprise me at all. I would agree. I think, me personally, I think the Anakin Skywalker is a stronger sculpt for sure. My next question is, though, do we want the Deadpool Wolverine or the Hono Wolverine? I'm curious to see. If you guys had to pick, this is only, I know I'm going to add an option for both too. But I'll do Deadpool because I know you guys always remind me every time I forget both. You guys always remind me. So we're going to be Deadpool Wolverine versus Hono. I'm curious to see your guys' thoughts. Let's see. Deadpool Wolverine. I'm sorry, I'm going to make it specific for those that are popping in. And then we'll do an option for both because everybody always yells at me when I don't. So guys, vote in that poll. I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say because I know the Hono one is like the ultimate comic look, but then on top of that, we got Hugh Jackman that's been playing Wolverine for over 20 years, and a lot of us obviously are very attached to this actor playing this character. So, but Chris, sorry to cut you off. You reminded me about the poll, so I wanted to take care of that. Chris, what are your thoughts on this Wolverine? I know you don't currently have any Wolverines in your collection. Is this the one that's going to get you to buy a Wolverine?
Absolutely. Like, if you don't see Hugh Jackman in here, I don't know what to tell you. You're blind. That's basically all I got for you. Will it turn out the same as the prototype? the way it's been going, probably not. But I hope it stays fairly close to what we're seeing here because it is beautiful, and I like the colors of it. I passed on the '73 Wolverine because I didn't like. I enjoy that film, but like I didn't want my first Wolverine to not have his actual claws or whatever. So seeing this, pretty cool. I've also been holding out on Deadpool like for the third film, and now that this is coming and we're getting another Deadpool, it's like the perfect thing because now I can have two characters that I didn't have also kind of come together and form like this set. I think the options in this are amazing. I think the colors will pop and stand out in the display. There's honestly not a single like complaint that I could have or give this figure that I'm unhappy about or wish that they didn't do because they kind of included all the bells and the whistles. Like there's 3 different looks for one character, and I think that's really cool of Hot Toys to do. And technically 4 because like you could probably
you could rotate the parts down however you want.
Which is really cool. And then as always, that rolling eyeball system that they do, like, you know, being able to change your pose and then have them look a certain way. You know, it's the key to the soul to really capturing that likeness. So I just think they knocked it out of the park. And there's not much more I could say about it.
Well said, dude. I mean, you know, we talk about like near perfect prototypes, and I think this is up there as one of the best. I'm really excited about this one. I do have some photos I'll pull up really quickly as we get Lane's thoughts. I have some photos of the sculpt from JC Hong, you know, the photos that he always takes of just the head sculpt, and that really puts it in perspective.
Do you know if those the claws are die cast or not? Because that's like
I don't believe that they are. I don't believe that they are, but they look.
We don't need to cut our fingers, man.
They look really good though, regardless.
They did it for Freddy, like Sideshow did it for Freddy. There's been people who've done die.
It would be cool. I don't think that they are. I don't remember seeing any mention of that, but it would be cool.
Connor knows I broke one off before. But...
Yeah. Yeah. FBJ is in the house, by the way. He says, "Happy Tuesday. Welcome back, Connor and crew. What's up, my friend? Thank you so much for popping in with us tonight. I see a lot of people popping in, guys. Sorry if I didn't say what's up to you. Tremble Dush, you've been dropping some great comments. Figure of the year is Morbius. That is an awesome figure. It's definitely a sleeper. I don't know if it would be film of the year when that film came out, but definitely a really nice figure.
I know. I think that was a safe bet on that one.
Yeah. Justin says may not get figures of them, but there will be a ton. Still need that Brad Pitt figure from Deadpool too, dude. You never know, man. You know, they could just, you know, pop out of nowhere and say, here's your Deadpool 2 stuff. And no, I actually, I'm really excited to see what they dream up for this film. Like I said, this might be the best Marvel film for a while. So we might go from Deadpool stuff right into the Marvel 85
Captain
stuff,
America,
I imagine.
Brave New World, which after a year of reshoots or something, who knows?
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be a very exciting one for a lot of people, but nevertheless, Lane, while you're talking, Lane, I actually want to pull up the shots of the head sculpt. I think we had enough time to actually look at the suit, but this head sculpt, Lane, these shots here, and I made the joke in the Hot Toys Hotline Facebook group. I'm like, what did they cut off Hugh Jackman's head for this figure?
Yeah, now we got to be careful. Remember, we were just talking about with the Anakin. That when the
of course, Lane, we're just like strictly looking at the prototype and sharing our thoughts on it. Of course, there could be some degradation, but just looking at this prototype, Lane, come on now.
Yeah, no, it looks great. My thing is, I would like the brown suit. Like that's my main Wolverine. I literally am hoping we see like this is his suit maybe for the first 2/3 of the movie, and then like if there's a big final battle, like there's a final battle suit or something. Because they always do like that. They'll have a different costume or something for the final battle. Like Deadpool and Wolverine get 2 maybe of their more classic comic suits or like their final suits for whatever the final battle would be in it. And he gets the brown suit for that. Or there's a variant that I really just want. I want a brown suit Wolverine that talks with an Australian accent so Hugh Jackman can just use his natural accent. It's the first time Wolverine was ever shown like in any form of non-comic was Spider-Man and his amazing friends when they met up and teamed up with the X-Men versus the Juggernaut. And freaking, for whatever reason, they had Wolverine speak with an Australian accent. And that's Awesome. Of course, that is the same Wolverine that got his, like, literally got his claw stuck in the wall and couldn't pull him out. And that's how he was incapacitated in the fight. And I was just like, yeah, that wasn't the best Wolverine moment ever. But he did use one of them as a shish kebab once for one of his claws. That was the most effective he was. I was like, I want to pull out a claw that would be that. Like, he has shish kebab for some reason with Deadpool.
Yeah, the claws are a lot longer on that comic inspired.
Yeah. But no, it's really bad when you go back and kind of go, ooh, this is Wolverine's first, like, ever appearance in, like, speaking or any kind of form. Not quite as cool. But I really like this figure. I think it's great. The head sculpt is pretty amazing. I have not pre-ordered yet because I'm waiting to go see the movie.
That's fair.
If I really like the movie, because I collect more Star Wars hot toys. I mean, to show I'm like already got 8 figures from Ahsoka, and I know that might cause some people to look at me like, I know I've got one person say, you buying like 10 figures from that line, but because of that right now, you're not getting the Wolverine. I'm like, well, I've seen the show, and I like Star Wars more than Marvel. Like that's my number one thing.
That's
and
fair.
As much as I like this, Marvel movies have hurt my brain over the last couple of years. Star Wars has to a certain extent, but it hasn't. Well, now I haven't watched the Acolyte yet, so that might be the tipping point. We'll see. I'm going to be having to watch the first 4 episodes this weekend because I'm reactivating Disney Plus.
Welcome back to the Disney Plus crew, Lane.
Yeah, but I've had just Netflix. But I think this is fabulous. If you're going to get a Wolverine, this is one of the few times I absolutely say, a lot of times I don't get the deluxe because they're like funny bases or stuff that I don't really care about.
Right, but this is very like practical deluxe accessories.
This is absolutely, you should get the deluxe of this figure because it's multiple. Now, I do think you could look at it maybe a little chintzy, getting all the head sculpts just for the deluxe version. But honestly, for me, if I want to buy a deluxe, I'd rather it be for the heads, have the head sculpts and like switch out armor pieces and not some, like, I know as much as you like it, but that big Sandman diorama base that come with the Toby Spider-Man that I would never use. Like, this is more practical to me as a deluxe.
That's so different though. And I said recently, and I really mean it, the diorama bases, depending on what they are, some of the Hot Toys ones are like, I'm getting sick of them. Like, to where you can't put the figure on the base, it's like really awkward. The Sandman base, that's different to me, because that's an actual character, and you have a grabber where you can float above it. It is massive, but
I'm just saying for like my deluxe for me, I'd rather get this where it's alternate stuff.
I think a lot of people would agree. I think a lot of people would agree.
I just use that as a random example. I could use that with something that was huge.
Yeah, and I just want to say, Lane, really quick, these photos I have pulled up here, this is at the Deadpool and Wolverine / Spider-Man amalgamation event that they just recently put on at Secret Base. And I don't even know if you consider this an event. It's kind of like a re-theme of the store, but yeah, we have them here in the display, and I actually really love the theming of this. I hate the shape of these bases, but I love the theming there. I just love the contrast between the red and the yellow. I think it's really cool.
They've done a fabulous job with this program. I like that switch out, for bottom half facial sculpts for the mask. Yeah.
I love Big Dog Pound. I use that meme way too much.
I wonder if he was thinking that right before the laser, Death Star laser. He's like, oh man, I helped make that.
Yeah, he wasn't saying that though when Tarkin put him in his place.
Yeah, before he blasted him in the face.
Yeah, Ian said, and this is something we didn't mention earlier, Lane. Yeah, you can't have the sleeves with the can't have the sleeveless look with the shoulder pads, and a lot of people were a bit disappointed by that. I already know some people are going to mod this thing. They're going to make it work somehow. I don't personally need to have the shoulder pads, but they're going to mod it. You already know they're going to. I'm guessing it's not accurate to the film, and that's why we don't see that as an option. But yeah, a lot of people are going to do that mod, obviously, because that's like, best case scenario for sure.
I just like how they managed to take the comic outfit and make it, at least it looks like. Well, I mean, we got
kind of like modernize it, but still kind of have that nod to the comics.
Make it work in a live action suit where it doesn't look like a bad Halloween costume.
Right, it looks
So,
very good, and also like the sleeveless look. I'm so glad that that's an option because everybody, you know, when we saw that initial teaser, we're like, oh shit, he has sleeves, man. What are they doing?
Well, they've been very good the last couple of years. Even some not great movies, like you know, I thought Black Adam, where they made Hawkman, actually kind of work.
Yeah,
Actually,
I actually really liked
Hawkman.
Hawkman. Yeah,
Yeah, his out like we talk about making Wolverine looking goofy, and like how are you going to translate to make that not look stupid? Like that's an example. They managed to make that work in the reference of the movie so that it didn't look completely silly. But I like the boots and everything. I just like this entire look, like where it has kind of a combat suit.
Yeah, Ricky's saying you can use.
Yeah, I'm looking at the pictures right now.
Does it show that they're removable?
They are. You can.
Okay, I stand corrected. For some reason, I thought it said that they weren't removable.
With the sleeves and without the sleeves on. They're on. There's pictures here with it on.
Okay, well, I stand corrected. Well, once again, guys, could it get any better? I
do think we're gonna. Here's one thing I would say also why I'm holding off on this Wolverine is I think we are going to see a couple other Wolverines as part of because I mean there aren't a lot of like Marvel new stuff, so for filling out for new content stuff because I think we can probably say we're not going to see wow, he's going like looking all Arnold Schwarzenegger Predator.
It's the Weapon L, dude.
Yeah, I know it's right there.
Get to the hotline.
Yeah. Thanks, Dutch.
Come on, the stream is on.
But they I want to kind of see what other suits or something he might have or other variants. Because if I was I don't own any Wolverines. If I'm just gonna buy one. You know, I don't usually buy multiple of the same character for movies. So I want to wait because I want a Wolverine, but I want to make sure if I see a Wolverine that I like even better this, and they make a figure, I'm gonna get that Wolverine because I want to get the best look that I like. Now Patch could be something cool. If it's like just Patch in this one, as cool as I think Patch might look, I'm gonna get this guy.
Now I'm wondering how those shoulder pads attach.
Dude, if you look, so I was gonna answer this. If you go back to the photo you had where all three of them are lined up, you can see how it is because they have.
It was probably right in front of my face and I didn't see it.
You just swap out the head. You can do it.
Okay, yeah. For some reason, I thought you couldn't. That's good news.
Answering my question because I said in the chat, sleeves or no sleeves, and he was just saying no sleeves with the pads. But you could definitely do it, and that's why I said.
Yeah.
You could do it.
No, because there was people. For some reason, there was like people on Facebook talking about it too. Maybe I read that and just it got stuck in my head. I see what you're talking about. Yeah. So guys, that was fake news on my end. I apologize for that. You can. I'll go back to this really quick so you can see what he's talking about. Yeah. So literally right in front of our faces, and I don't know why it just disappeared from my mind. But yeah, that looks really good. I think I'll have mine with the head sculpt and then this look here. I think that's like the middle is whether it's accurate or not, I don't care.
It probably happens at some point in the film if they did all this, I guess. Yeah,
possibly.
Hotline hotties, baby.
But now that you're here, Mike, I want to jump to you, dude, because I know this is definitely a very beloved character of yours, and obviously you came prepared, dude, with the cigar and everything. So we got to jump to you, man. What are your thoughts on this Wolverine, and where's Deadpool, dude?
Hey, real quick, Mike, can I pretend to think what you're gonna say?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, this is me being Mike, right? I am soaking wet right now.
Bro, I'm like the water emoji is just spraying out of me constantly.
He's gushing.
I am just a giant purple eggplant with a water emoji. Just right all over you guys right now. Listen, if you don't like this figure, I hate you. Your ideas are more of a hoax than global warming, and you piss me off. You're officially not a hottie. No, of course.
Wow.
Just kidding. Everybody's opinions are valid, but I love this figure. And I'm right. So, no, I think this is fucking amazing, man. I was listening to the show as I was getting ready, and I agree with everything you guys said. I dopoed this. I would love, but I held off, and I think, Sean, you said this. There's more Wolverine coming, right? So It's gonna be very hard to leave either one of these mask sculpt or this sculpt in the box. You know, very hard. And I think the pose that sold this guy, and forgive me, I didn't catch everything you guys said, but there it is, Moose. That's me in 2 dimensions.
Leave it to Moose to to drop that in the chat.
But so there's that one picture where he's doing like the classic Wolverine and he's like hunched over like this, and he looks like he might be a 5'3" hairy son of a bitch, like Wolverine, right? I could never not have that pose on the shelf. So it's just, but it's going to kill me to not have Hugh out there either. Well, that's one of them. I think he's got like more of an arms cross.
Oh yeah. And
maybe that
right there,
right
there. Yeah,
like,
there it is.
How could I not have that on my shelf? And let's be real, man. Like these are posable, but how often do we really want to like mess with the silicone arms, mess with the head, pulling it on and off? Like I'm not going to be changing this every day or every week. I just need this forever. And I would do it just like that too. The shoulders, the shoulder plating, the bare arms, and the battle damage for this look, like that. Whoever
and this
did
pose
this
wouldn't hurt those arms either, because you know, they're basically straight for the most part. So.
Exactly, it's perfect. And also like a pose like this is why I'm glad they're not die-cast claws. Like die-cast claws are awesome, but I think they'd work better as fixed permanent claws. Whereas here, I think they'd be a little heavy. You'd have them falling out maybe. It would just be a pain in the ass. So the chrome look, I think, is good enough. You know what else I really love? Because it's so comic book. And this goes to the designers of the costume for the film. But putting that curve line right here, like that originally started as a device to imply that there's curvature there. Right. As a line when people are drawing, right? So I love that they took that into 3 dimensions and just stitched the line in there. Like that's really a cool comic book touch. They crushed this mask, and like everybody has a different opinion of exactly how the wings should go. Like should they be sharper on the bottom? Should they come to more of a? I like them. I think they look really good. I think they're going to look awesome in the movie. But like for me, I prefer this over the overly exaggerated what Hono did, which I know is like I have the Mondo Wolverine. I get that look. It's wonderful, but it wouldn't suit live action very well. It'd be a little too like ridiculous, you know? This is perfect in my opinion. And I really hope they release a brown suit because that is my favorite suit.
I do too.
No, like Banter Boy, like I totally get it. A lot of people aren't very happy with the mask.
I think it's either you like it or you don't, honestly. It's one of those. I like it too. I agree with you. It's a good adaptation in my opinion. Yeah. I'm very pleased and surprised that they made a mask that I'm really happy with. Because I can be like a picky, you know, but this they too long. Yeah, no, I hear you, man. Look, I have an issue with his hairy pizza slice head. Like, you know, but that's the way it looks in the movie, sort of. So whatever. But dude, I love these face plates are killer, man. Yeah, like so I'm so glad that they did a good job with this look right here, because that's like so Wolverine, and oftentimes when you have when you have something like that, and you know, with those open mouth sculpts, it's either they look goofy as shit or they do a good job. And here I'm so glad the most important character to have like a gritting teeth open mouth sculpt, they nailed it. I think they did a great job here.
They really did, man. I'm so excited for this. But like Sean was saying, I almost ordered a deluxe and a collector. But I'm going to wait because maybe there's a patch or a brown suit, or there's going to be more than one figure.
Yeah, it's so hard. I definitely will not double up on this one, because my justification to not do that, apart from the possibilities of more figures, let's say we don't get any more Wolverine figures. I've got the Hono that's going to have the mass head sculpt on it. I'm fine having this one with the head sculpt, because there's a 0% chance I put that head sculpt in a box and let it rot, because it's way too good, dude. It's like,
let's be real, dude. You're going to have plenty of time to buy this figure.
Oh,
this is not going away in 6 months.
It's going to sell really well. So it's not going to be one of those figures where like, oh, well, I guess we should cut it off. You know, no one's really buying it. Like, if this film does well, which I believe it will, I have a lot of faith that it will. This figure is gonna sell like crazy.
This figure is meant for a wide audience. I think that's why they did the collector version the way they did. I think it's just meant to appeal to. Wolverine is the most popular character besides Spider-Man, I would say, in Marvel, right? I think that's like not even a risky thing to say. I think it's pretty obvious. And I think they just want to show this off to people as Wolverine. It doesn't have to be attached to a Hugh Jackman or even the film. So yeah, I could agree with that. I mean, there's some great comments, obviously.
Yeah, that would be sick. I'd be on board with that, Daryl. I mean, obviously, like, I'm not surprised that we got the branding that we did, but I think the base looks cool, though, nonetheless. That would be hilarious, though, if someone did, like, the 20th Century Fox, like, the scrolling screen that you get.
Oh, yeah.
That would be hilarious if someone had, like, a 3D base with that in the background.
So I don't mean to hijack the chat, but, like, has anybody bought tickets yet, or how psyched are you guys?
Yeah, I have. My tickets are for Friday, so obviously it comes out on Thursday. I have them for the following day. So, and I got it in the IMAX laser, so I went all out.
Nice, yeah.
Those tickets are expensive as shit, though. They were like $22 a piece, but well worth it. Well worth it for this film.
You know what I love about Fandango is, like, right up to the movie starting, you can get all of your money back in credit, or you can get your money back besides the convenience fee to your card. So what I do is, like, because my work schedule changes every week, and I certainly don't know what it's going to be 2 months out.
Yeah.
For this, I bought a 3 p.m. for the fan screening, which should be pretty cool. I'm excited for that. And then in the evening, like much later, I bought an IMAX pair of tickets. So
nice.
No matter what my work schedule is, I'll catch one of those, and then I'll just get a refund for the other one. Yeah. So that's a little awesome tip for anybody who didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know about that because I never used that personally.
It's risk free, man. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, dude, I have a lot of like high hopes for this film. It's not one of those films where I'm like going in, I'm like, oh, I'm prepared to be unexcited, prepared to be let down. I think it's going to be a banger. It has to be, right? They bring back Hugh Jackman as Wolverine with Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. It's just like a match made in heaven. So
even if this film is terrible, collectors win. And that's one of the really fun things about being a collector is like there's always something good out of a franchise that you love, even if the movie sucks. It might be a great figure out of it.
Yeah, that's very true. These little Spider-Man figures are kind of neat too. For some reason, I feel like I've seen at least this one before. This little like painter look with the coveralls, or with the overalls rather. I think these are like artist-inspired figures that are just showing off in the display. I don't know.
They've done one before where they had coveralls. I think it was last year or the year before. So that's why it was just painted differently.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, these are really cool. I think they're just kind of like a show-off type of piece. Not a huge fan of this one, personally. I don't really see the appeal to that one. But the other two I think are really cool. Especially, this is like a Captain America inspired one to me. That's really cool with the bomber jacket.
That one's great.
I
like the bike and the boots. The leather boots his boots
it almost looks like they used the comic, the CMS one as a base. It kind of looks like that one. I think they might have.
I think it is it, dude. Yeah, you could see even where it bent, like the slight bend in the webbing right here, almost. I think. The crease.
That's interesting. It's a cool piece, though. I actually think I like the little painter one the most. I think that one has such a unique
It's got a lot of character. It looks like Invincible's colors, almost kind of.
Yeah, it does. That's kind of a cool mashup idea. But I like too how the feet of the suit kind of hang out the bottom. That's really cool. But yeah, I'm really excited for this, guys. I think everybody's really excited for this film, and it's great to see Hot Toys putting out a figure early, like Sean said. I'm going to close the poll, guys, because we're moving on to our next topic. The question was Deadpool Wolverine versus the Hono version. What are you getting? 77% said Deadpool Wolverine, 20% said both, 2% said Hono. So not surprising at all. We're kind of in the grand hype of this film, so not surprising. A lot of people are going. And Hugh Jackman, come on, he's not from America, but he's America's sweetheart to us. So
it's a miracle that we have him back.
I know, this is not because he literally said he was not going to come back, and here we are. I guess it took Ryan Reynolds begging on his knees to get him back. So,
dude, sorry I came in like a bull in China shop, fellas. Hello, everybody.
Nah, dude, it's good. I mean, and guys in the chat, we've had a lot of deep discussion, so I apologize if I haven't been reading your comments as much as I usually do. But I appreciate you guys sharing your thoughts. It seems like everybody's getting their tickets too. Moose got his tickets for 3:30 on Thursday. You beat me, dude.
I'm ordering mine right now.
Yeah, I got mine for Friday, dude. If you want to,
Thursday at 6.
Thursday at 6. I'm going on Friday just because I wanted my girlfriend to be able to go, and it just the timing worked out better. But that's still good enough to avoid all the spoilers, I think, because most people probably go on the Friday. Like diehard fans go on Thursday, and then casual viewers I think go on Friday. So the news boy, I think it's cool, dude. I won't lie to you. You a sweet bull, sweet bull, Mike. I like that.
Thanks, 12.
Guys, we're gonna have an open discussion about this one. A lot of harsh stuff people are saying about this InArt Aragorn, right? I will say, I'll start by saying I have no skin in the game when it comes to Lord of the Rings. So the reason I say it is there's very little bias for me in terms of wanting to say, oh, this figure is great because I love Lord of the Rings. Because I'm not a big Lord of the Rings guy. I haven't even seen all the films, so I say that to let you guys know that I'm kind of coming at this as a person that collects InArt. I know I'm familiar with their quality, but I don't have any ties to the films whatsoever. I think the outfit and everything is really, really impressive. You can see they're showing off the different parts here. One thing I don't like that InArt keeps doing is making the collector assemble these parts themselves. I think that's really annoying. And looking, I've seen this video already, and they make you like kind of wrap the belt over on itself, and it's not a difficult thing to do. It's just like, why not just put it in the box that way? Based on the parts that they're showing you here, it could easily be done. That's kind of weird to me. Like, why don't you just assemble it in the factory? I don't get this, but it does look very good. But it's just, I don't like this part. I don't like the build a figure type of aspect. With that being said, of course, the big topic of conversation is the head sculpt. Now, interestingly enough, here you can see they're showing them putting on the necklace for Aragorn, and a lot of the InArt head sculpts have come with a built-in neck piece. Pennywise had like that separate neck piece that the head sculpt pegs onto. The Joker had the built-in neck piece. This one actually has one of those bodies where the headpiece is built into the body itself. So I will say, at least with the Hot Toy stuff in the past, I've seen a lot of broken inner pegs on that. So be very careful when taking that head on and off. Again, we don't know because it's InArt. It might be different. But with the Hot Toys bodies, that peg becomes fragile over time as you pull it in and out from the friction. So be very careful with that, guys. I definitely want to kind of give you a disclaimer on that. Sorry, I was reading your comment, Chris. Blue Tattoo is in the house. What's up, Blue Tattoo? Great to see your face, as always. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for popping in. We're talking about the InArt Aragorn right now. We just got done talking about Deadpool. And Bantha Boy says, but Hot Toys Hotline, it allows you to further your bond with the figure. I think I'm good on that, dude. I think I want it fully assembled in the box. And I think with Harry Potter we'll be safe because he didn't have any like weird belt parts and stuff. And it just, I don't know, just weird to me. We got 6 months of Hot Toys Hotline membership. The Hotline Hotties, as Mike calls them. So he has named them the Hotline Hotties.
It's not just like me anymore, buddy.
I can't escape it, dude. I can't escape it. But Moose, thank you so much. That's very, very generous of you. You are too good to me, my friend. I very much appreciate it. And Moose has some great advice, guys. If you want a faster delivery on Wolverine, order 2. Yeah, maybe Sideshow or whoever you order from will be like, you know what, this guy ordered 2, or this girl, or whoever ordered 2. Why not send his now? I don't know, dude. That didn't work out for me for my Obi-Wan Kenobi Vader. I was like one of the last people to get that, so I don't know, Moose, but thank you so much. I very much appreciate it, Moose. You are too kind, my friend, for the 6 months. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. Ricky said, what's Lord of the Rings? Dude, I mean, I'm not going to knock it, and it's not that I've seen it and I didn't like it. It's just I haven't watched all the films. And it's almost like I'm holding myself back because I don't want to like it, because then I'm going to be like, well, shit, I should have got the Gandalf, and here's Aragorn about to release. So, yeah, I'm going to avoid Lord of the Rings for now. I've got enough franchises I'm buying from. I think that's the smart move on my part because I know myself. We got one of our great moderators, a good friend and a channel member here. We got OG Fan when Star Wars was just Star Wars, or OG as I call him. OG says, hello, everyone. Hello to you, OG. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. It's great to see you, as always. And X-Man Supreme. Hotties. See, guys, it's inescapable. I cannot escape it. The Hotline Hotties. But let me continue with this video. But, guys, I mean, How do you guys feel about my thoughts on the build a figure type of thing? Do you think that's annoying to, or am I just being a crybaby? But I don't know. I mean, and it's not like the quiver and stuff, like putting that on his back, that's normal. But like the belt, like, I don't know. I feel like for the price you pay for these figures, and that's not just InArt, but in general, even Hot Toys, like it should be pre-assembled for the most part in the box, I feel like.
It's the belt that got me. Like
right. Like I don't
have
the
a hard
quiver.
time putting
I
on
don't
my own
expect
belt.
them to put.
Yeah, like
Right.
the way you have to loop it around and stuff. I mean, otherwise, putting this stuff together could be kind of fun. Like statue assembly is fun, but this is a little more detailed than that, and I'd want it to be like perfect by professionals than me. But
Yeah.
I don't have one, so I can't say. It might be a fun part of the figure. I'm looking forward to it with the Batman. This looks more intricate than the Batman.
I think so too.
When Hot Toys first
For it.
got like the license for Predator, you had to put them together, so they were all taken apart.
Yeah, the Xenomorphs originally and the Predators were all like
Yeah.
Build-A-Figures. Yeah.
You had to build them apart and everything, but I don't know if you had to do this with the other InArt stuff, putting it together, so it's kind of weird.
No, not belts or anything.
Not
Like
Gandalf, I don't think he had.
No,
But,
Yeah.
I'm surprised you feel that way, Connor, because like 3-0 with their Game of Thrones, some of the figures you have to put the belts on those and put the capes on. A lot of that is you got to.
Yeah.
I didn't like that either though, because every time I do it, it's kind of a pain. In, like
I mean,
a
they
figure.
have the instruction. It didn't bother me.
Well, a figure that I had to do that for was, Claire Redfield right here, and it was such a pain in the ass to put this little waist belt on. I don't know, and also Chris, those 3-0 figures were, I don't know. I feel like 3-0, their quality standard and their, because InArt has such a attention to detail when it comes to presentation and how they, the unboxing experience and how they present to the customer. So I just feel like it goes along with their values to kind of have everything
I get it.
placed and
Hot
ready to go in the box.
Hot Toys did it. I mean, it's not as like detailed as something as like a belt, but like if you got the T1000, you had to, for his second look, you had to put pants on and the whole cop belt and a whole new jacket on. And
That's a little different though.
and
This isn't an
boots. You
alternate
had to
look.
take the shoes on and put. Yeah, but it's still having to.
It's
do
not an
stuff.
alternate look though. This is like he has this belt on. This is his look. So it's like,
I get it.
and it's like the Batman too. A lot of people were complaining at how annoying that was to put his utility belt on, and so it's like, I don't know. It's a
part of
very
the-
minor complaint. I'm not like, oh, I would never buy an InArt figure. You know what I mean? It's just a minor complaint. But I look at this video and I'm like, I could see a lot of people struggling with this. And
So let me ask you guys though, do you think that this is sold as like, this is a really neat thing the collector can do for themselves and kind of like develop a deeper appreciation? It's sold as that, but it's really, let's face it, this saves a lot of man hours on InArt's
Right.
part. I think there's something to be said for opening the box and seeing the glory of a completely finished figure.
Oh yeah,
So
for sure.
I see both sides of it.
Yeah, and I'm not saying like them doing this is like, oh cool, I would never buy this figure because of that, because it
No.
like looking at the outfit alone, dude, it looks amazing. Like the
I get-
tailoring on this outfit is incredible.
And I know people are saying, because you mentioned like it's a third of the price or it's half the price, like probably not even half, but like doesn't even compare quality. But seeing what he just did with the belt, it is the same thing. Like regardless, that's the same style that you have to put those belts on for those Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I don't care if it's Hot Toys 3-0 InArt. I don't want to have to do that. It's just me personally, but
I guess
an alternate,
it
like again,
depends.
alternate looks, it's a little different, and I would just say that I think it's different if you have to swap out a coat versus a belt that's like supposed to go with the character, like it's pre-installed, like there's no unbelted look. That's just what he wears. You know what I mean? That's just my thought. And again, it's a very minor nitpick, and I'm not like trying to complain about it. It's just something I noticed in this video, and I'm like, I don't really like that too much.
And we're for sure like that's how it'll.
That's how it arrives
It
to
was
you. Yeah, it's in-
unboxing, yeah.
yes,
Okay.
that's how it arrives.
I mean,
to you.
like
It's in the
Mike
box
said,
like that.
it's a fun experience. You get to be more hands-on and in depth with it. And,
I'll let you keep the hands on. I'm not totally on the
Right, like Lane,
Not a
like Lane.
bandwagon here.
You've gotten frustrated with certain things that Hot Toys has done. You're like, why did it's Chris?
Yeah.
It's easier said than done. When you have newer collectors, you look at stuff like
It's
that, and
one
that's what I
thing-
try to think about.
I'm more one. It's one thing where like you stick, like say for having to put on for the bow and arrows and stuff, and stick that into the back.
Right, that's a given because
And
you're not going to box it with
yeah.
that because it can break.
Yeah,
hey,
right?
where's
and
Owen when you need, because I got to talk about Legos here. I like to build.
Yeah,
But this isn't a Lego,
guy.
Chris.
I know.
I'm not,
like,
I'm
I
not trying
just
to
like
put
to-
together to ask me to have to put a little 6-scale belt on freaking Aragorn figure versus building the Tower of Barad-dûr in Lego format. There's a different thing for my expectation what I have to do. It's like, okay,
It was
bring
kind
out-
of fun. It was fun building the DeLorean, like putting the DeLorean together. Like
That Chris, that was
Kate Bishop's-
that was not fun. That was
Putting
absolutely
Kate
not
Bishop's
fun.
Then
No,
arrows in.
that was not fun, dude.
Fun.
Putting
Chris,
those little metal grates on the flux bands, that was not
Yes,
fun,
seeing it
dude.
come together, bro.
Chris,
No.
I got a tumbler for you that is waiting that has like little.
I love that.
pieces
I
that
love
have to
putting the
stick
scout bike together. I like putting Kate Bishop's.
Well, Chris,
arrows.
I'm glad that there's a market for that. I did not love any of those things that you're mentioning. I did not.
Yeah, I didn't like any of them either.
Like seriously, this is what we're choosing to talk about right now.
Oh, bro,
Chris is
freaking
the one
all
drawing it out,
Mando's
dude. He's like-
armor.
Okay,
I
okay,
love tying all
okay,
that and
so-
putting that together too.
So Chris is perfectly fine, Connor. So what I'm getting from this, Connor doesn't like the fact that he has to dress a 1/6 scale man, put his belt
He can
on.
And Chris wants me to say that I do. He's
He likes to undress.
I know he's trying to like put a trap in there for you
What?
to admit something that you're
Stop.
not supposed.
all right. Well, let's talk
Is there an
about
elephant in the room we're ignoring?
let's
Name
talk
me.
about the head sculpt,
He's
guys.
fucking
Let's-
cross-eyed here, but whatever.
He's
um,
not cross-eyed. He's just off.
Bro, he's
Yeah.
like this. He's at least lazy-eyed or something. I don't know.
I don't. Let me. I'll say this. I'll say my piece on the head sculpt, and whoever else wants to jump in on it. I don't at all think it's a bad head sculpt. I don't. And I do think looking at some of the shots of like them just pulling it straight out of the box, I think this is probably like the least properly styled to the prototype head sculpt in terms of the rooted hair yet. I feel like they could have done a little bit better job styling it out of the box. I can see a bit of degradation. Is it enough to where a lot of people are really crapping on this head sculpt? I still think it does look really good. And again, that's coming from somebody who has zero skin in the game. So I'm not like, I didn't buy this figure. I'm not a fan of Lord of the Rings. I'm just looking at it and I'm like, this looks really good. And I'm familiar with the actor because I like him from other things, Viggo Mortensen, but I still think it's a good looking head sculpt. Is it a little bit, did we see some degradation on this one that more than we've seen from InArt in the past? I would say yes. And that's unfortunate because I know a lot of people are really looking forward to this one. Do I think it's like toss it in the trash, cancel your pre-orders? No, because I think, from certain angles, if the hair is properly styled, I still think it looks very good. But, and, Lane and I were talking about this. Is this still the best Aragorn head sculpt we'll probably ever see? I think so. But I'm going to bow out on this one. I think the outfit looks fantastic. Has the head sculpt received a little bit of degradation? It has. But I still think it looks very good. And that's what I thought. A lot of you guys in the chat will probably disagree. I don't think it's as bad as some people are making it out to be. But it's certainly not as good as the prototype. I'll leave it at that. But, Mike, we'll jump to you because I feel like you had... And then Lane, sorry to cut you off. It was just bad timing. And then we'll jump to you. Mike, it seems like you're going to be a little more harsh on this one than I was. What are your thoughts on this head sculpt, dude, and how it turned out?
No, man, I was just kind of being a little bit of exaggerating a little bit, but honestly, some people are getting very emotional about this, and I get it. If you have money invested in it, for sure, and I don't, so it's easier for me to criticize it, right? Because I'm not emotionally invested in spending $500 or whatever dollars on this, and I know that feeling. I've done that where I'll just see what I want to see. And I'm not saying that's what people are definitely doing. I'm saying that's what I would do. I would be talking myself. I'm still talking myself into Mace, and I haven't gotten it yet, but I'm like, no, it's going to look so much better in hand. And I really hope it does. And I hope this does for those that purchased it and are feeling a little uneasy about it right now.
Yeah.
I think I wrote in the chat, he looks like Vigo's maybe 10, 15 pound heavier, less handsome brother. It's not like a horrible sculpt. I just think they've set the bar so high and they've done such a great job with everything else. But I've also learned my lesson with InArt, and that's not to really necessarily judge from early photographs. But I think we've seen enough now that those of us that don't think it's as good as a prototype are probably right at this point. We've seen video, we've seen different lighting. Something about the face is a little smushed this way, in my opinion. And I am a big Lord of the Rings fan. I'm not going to say I'm like a Viggo Mortensen expert or anything, but
yeah,
I don't think you have. Here's the thing, man. I don't think you have to like find exactly what it is you don't like, or I think
you
it's
get-
just an instinctual, immediate thing when you look at something, and you don't have to be right or wrong. It's just,
Yeah.
you feel it, even if you can't quantify it. If there's something off to you, there's something off to you, and you don't owe it to anybody to prove you're right or wrong. You know what I mean? It's like, your partner may be beautiful to you, and other people are like, what the heck does he see in her? It doesn't matter. There's just
Beauty
something-
is in the eye of the beholder.
There you
but
go.
More
There's
often
like
than not.
a
Yeah.
10,000-year-old expression that sums up
Yeah.
everything I said in the last 3 minutes way better than I can say. Those are my thoughts. I think the hair looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If I had to like put it in one phrase, I think it's their weakest head sculpt yet. And this is coming from someone who owns the Joker, and I absolutely love their Joker head sculpts. Love them, and I finally secured Brooded for both of them after upgrading from my sculpted sculpts, and I absolutely love them. I got the Pennywise in recently, and I absolutely love those head sculpts. They're absolutely beautiful. Blows the Hot Toys ones out of the water. After seeing it in person, I'm like, okay, I see the appeal here. I don't know. Like I said, I have no skin in the game, so I'm not as like passionate about it. If this was like Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker and it was off and I could really see it, I might be a little bit more passionate about, like when we were talking about Anakin earlier. But for this one, I really don't have much else to say about it for me personally. It's just I do see the degradation, but I still think it looks good. And Blue Tattoo is on the other side of the spectrum, where he says no, the head sculpt is just a higher def azimuth sculpt. The Vigo likeness is gone. And Blue, I'm sure that you probably have more skin in the game than me too. So and you've looked at this actor as this character on screen much more than I. So you might also have more of a trained eye with this actor. More than I do, because I've only seen him in a handful of films. I've liked him in all the films he's been in. Ralph Mordison. Lane, you are a really good, a really big Lord of the Rings fan, so I feel like you probably have some choice words for this one way or the other. Lane,
well,
give it to us straight, Lane. What are your thoughts on
I think
Aragorn?
if someone told me, it feels like the schnoz is like what feels really off, almost like it's a little too wide, almost
Agreed.
for his
Yep.
face. Like that it's that's the thing. That's one of the problems with how detailed some of these head sculpts have gotten to this point, is that it's like really our eyes are almost trained to see the slight differences and stuff that feel a little off, and then they feel like a big bullet hits us, bangs us in the head when we see them. It's the nose. It just feels too wide and elongated or something to me.
Lane, would you say that the sculpts nowadays have gotten so good that anything less than photorealism is a disappointment? And is that fair? I don't know. But
I don't know if it's photoreal, but I think we seem to have come to it. Like we were talking about Anakin, where maybe 3 years ago, I don't think we would have noticed, but the head sculpt prototype was just so
exactly
well established, where now we're going from, hey, that's a 10, where now it's really maybe a 9 out of 10 for the final, but we're talking about like it's a 7 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10 or something like that. When it's just so I do really like, but I don't love the head sculpt. But that's just because, as I told you in the back, I think this head sculpt, that Aragorn and prototype, was like a 10 plus. Like people were talking, this is the best head sculpt of any character I've ever seen in 1/6K. There was a lot of commentary on that. So now maybe he's a 9, which feels like going from that feels like a dramatic cause. But if you really look at him, whether sculpted or the actual rooted hair, it's actually really, it's a really good head sculpt for him. For me, what makes kind of the difference, makes up for the head sculpt a little bit, is the detail in the tailoring on the outfit. I think we have a tendency to forget you can have the best head sculpt in the world, but if the suit or whatever, the clothes on the figure looks like crap or is made really awful, we've talked a little bit about, hey, you know what? That artisan Anakin that's going to come, that can have the greatest Anakin head sculpt in the history of the world. But if it has like pleather on the stuff, is in 3 years, could I be talking about is it, I tap it and then the entire boot falls apart on this, and that's part of the quality of the figure. So I don't know about this. Gotta, as we always talk about, you gotta wait almost until you have the same. I understand for InArt, it can be a little bit harder if you decide to maybe cancel a figure or not, because you're looking at $500.
I feel like,
600.
yeah, Lane, I
Make it
feel like
harder.
because these InArt figures are going for so much money, a lot of people will be super hesitant to sell it before they get it in hand. Like, they could easily just get it in hand and look at it and be like, oh, I like it or I don't like it, and then sell it for more than they paid. So
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of people canceling this, if any. Very little I
Yeah.
think people will cancel it because, again, it's like,
There's so few of these figures by this maker. Now, maybe 5 years from now, it's a different story because they've had 30, 40 figures put out or something like that,
maybe, yeah.
But I just think that I can understand because how many have we had in total now? Now, I know this isn't out in everybody's hands. Some people just finally were getting Gandalf. And stuff.
Gandalf, this one, and then what was the other one that was announced that has nothing to do with the main films?
Pennywise?
Oh, you're talking about just
Yeah,
InArt figures in general.
In general. What have we had? How many?
We have
the
the Batman, Pennywise, Joker, Gandalf.
Didn't they do a Thorn?
Aragorn.
Were you trying to talk about?
That's what I was.
Thorn?
Yeah, that's.
Thorn?
I thought he was talking about how many,
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings related.
Yeah,
figures
no.
we have.
I just mean total figures that they put out that are in people's hands or have been in some form.
Four, right? Technically,
four.
I guess 5 if you count Bruce Wayne. That is a different figure.
Yeah, but we're talking on one hand at most. How many total figures? Is
Yeah, and then how many people? That's obviously the big topic of conversation. Like, it's going to be a while before, because people still don't have the Batman. A lot of people still don't have the Batman.
Yeah, you're going to be waiting till
I don't have
December. Yeah, you're going to be talking like
my
December
Bruce
people
Wayne.
have it
I
on
won't
it.
see that forever, dude, because I got it from a retailer that's one of the slowest to get their InArt stuff.
Yeah.
So I
So
won't see it anytime
we're going to be
soon.
talking in December. Some people haven't gotten.
And
Just remember,
Mary,
some people
by
just
the way,
have
what's up?
Gandalf.
Mary said still waiting on Gandalf. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
But
That's
I'm just
unfortunate.
saying. So it could be a year before some of us fully have this figure in hand. It's not a lot of people, but there are going to be people who could be waiting to this time next year to get it. Because this is, I think I'm going to definitely probably get it. It just depends how things go. I like how the figure looks. And Aragorn, to me, when I was able to pre-order him, was still a decently reasonable price for the rooted hair. Like, I looked at Hermione and just went for how much some people were putting that for, like almost $600, and I just went, sorry, peace out. That's more than I'll spend.
Isn't that fun? Isn't that funny though? Like, for me, Hermione, that was like as much as she is, it was a no-brainer for me because I'm such a big fan of the franchise. That's just how things work, though. It's just so weird.
No, but I looked at it because there were some other Hot Toys figures I might like for the same combined price.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you really to get those figures, especially from the first film, you really have to be a big fan to spend that amount of money on those figures, for sure.
But I think this came out. I think it's just because there have been so few InArt figures. We're talking about Anakin for Hot Toys, but in 2 weeks we're probably not even going to be thinking about it much anymore because they'll be. Remember Holland Spider-Man and everybody, we were talking all about how great that head sculpt was. But because Hot Toys put out so much stuff, we're going to be talking about who knows what else in 2 weeks that's been released. And we're like, oh my God, look at this. The details are just the same as a great prototype and blah, blah, blah. InArt, we linger on this before because they just don't have as much product out or in people's hands. So I think the scrutiny is a little, not including just price, it's just because there are so few. We're going to have more time where we spend like 2 months. You could be talking about, hey, you remember that figure from the summer? Well, remember how it turned out because we haven't had something else go into people's hands. So it lingers in the memory longer.
Yeah, very true. Very true. But yeah, guys, with the question about cancellation, if you have this on order, do not rush and cancel it. I think you'll regret it later. One, because this is still, because you got to think with a figure, you're talking about multiple aspects. If you're still like, you look at the head sculpt, you're like, it's not what I was hoping for. The outfit is a big thing too. The tailoring on the outfit, like that looks incredible. You really can't downplay that. The materials they've chosen, I don't know what type of material. It's like a lambskin looking like leatherish material on that overcoat there. It looks really good.
You can see the detail just like looking on his, his king's ring. And then the Evan Star pendant and stuff, just like pieces and stuff. Although I admit, I think that Evan Star, I'm probably going to leave that actually in the box because I have a feeling that's going to be really tight around the neck.
Yeah, and like the quiver and everything looks really well done.
Dude,
I don't know.
If they just dropped this and there was no proto, this conversation wouldn't even happen.
I agree.
You know what
I
I'm saying?
agree. I agree. And
this figure's ridiculous. Let's be honest.
if you're thinking about canceling it too, you might say like the Aragorn, my perfect Aragorn I would like to get is Blackgate Aragorn in the full King's like white tree armor and everything. That would be my
Wow,
ultimate
spoilers,
Aragorn.
Like,
Lane.
Sorry
That's
for 20-year-old
badass.
movie.
I won't
I'm
even
not- I'm
remember
not
what
even
you said, so
saying-
it's okay.
Yeah,
This is
well,
more
I don't
iconic
remember half
than
of what I said.
Sean, can you
Yeah.
believe he just spoiled the films for me? That's great.
Well, you know, you kind of had like 2 decades to get with the ball.
First he tells me
Yeah.
about Gandalf the White, and now this. What am I ever to do?
Well,
If you rather wait, like if you're like, well, I don't like this, but I'll wait for the next Gandalf or the next Aragorn or whatever.
That
you
would
might
not be
at the
wise.
pace, at the rate they put stuff out, you might be talking in like 2020. And I don't think you're exaggerating when you say 2028, 2029, just
Nah.
because of the capacity for them making.
I don't even want to know when I'm going to get my
There-
Harry Potter.
There would not be 2 twos in the middle of those 4 numbers, Lane.
Yeah,
It would be, it would be 2030 something, bro.
that's
Yeah.
that's the biggest
If they're so
unfortunate
busy-
thing that they
if
need to
they're so
dial
busy.
in. The shipping times. That's what the production time and shipping time is what they need to dial in the most.
And a lot of things have had problems with that, and that's not going away anytime soon. So
Nope. So
It's gonna get
hopefully,
worse, guys.
hopefully people start getting the Batman in soon. I've watched reviews and it looks really good. So really excited to see people. Most people start to get them in the U.S. and stuff, and wherever you guys are located who pre-order them that haven't received them yet, who had to buy from a reseller. It's a great looking piece. I hope people start getting them in. And I want my Bruce Wayne, man. I got my Hot Toys Batman. By the way, if anybody is selling, I really want that InArt bat signal. I look at it and I'm like, I prefer it over the Hot Toys one. So if anybody wants to sell their InArt bat signal pre-order, if you're like, I ordered it and I shouldn't have, let me know. I really want to get that.
I
really
ordered
want to
it.
get
I got a
From,
couple.
from an unreliable.
yeah, from the devil.
I don't want to
We bought it from
say.
the devil.
Dude, whatever. I'll charge back. Like
What
a
is-
mofo.
What is the line InArt will be working? John did say that Michael Jackson's coming soon. The one that they showed the prototype of previously from the Dangerous album. That one's going to be, I think, going up for pre-order sooner than later. I think John said. InArt is going to San Diego Comic-Con, so I imagine we're probably going to see some new reveals there, and hopefully we get to see some redos, right? Like Daenerys, that figure needed some love, and they did say that they were working on the outfit and dialing it in, and also
Knight.
obviously, yeah, Christopher Reeve, Superman, and Clark Kent, those needed a lot of work in terms of the head sculpt. So I'm excited to see what they show off there. Maybe they'll surprise us for you guys that like Lord of the Rings. Maybe you'll see some new reveals for Lord of the Rings. Maybe they'll have Snape there from Harry Potter, because for those of you who didn't know, John did say they're working on Snape, so that's super exciting. Dude, Snape with rooted hair is going to be just amazing. Absolutely. And Alan Rickman, I will say, his likeness is very difficult to get, so very curious to see what they do with that, but also very excited at the same time.
Also, great hair for Rooted too. He's got
Oh,
that
perfect.
kind of
it's like almost as good as like John Wick or something,
Yeah,
like just
yeah.
perfect candidate for rooted hair.
Yeah,
Hey, I got a-
product.
I got like questions though on InArt. So
Sure.
is there an option for sculpted hair with Aragorn?
Yes, actually, when we were watching the video, the first version they showed was the sculpted hair, and the second version was the rooted hair. So it kind of went by so fast. I could pull it back up, actually. Let's see if I go back. Come on.
I actually think the sculpted
Too far
looks
back.
pretty good too. I think
It's
But
funny because a
I-
lot of people, Sean and Mike, were saying that they preferred the sculpted hair now because they feel like it lays on the face better and kind of helps with that likeness. Let me see.
Yeah. I also want to see him.
Calm it down for a moment so I can see more of the
Like
image.
that's the sculpted hair right there, Sean. I'm trying to. I imagine they showed a close up.
Do we have any images of him like 3/4, like looking to the side? I think that would help the sculpt too. I think it's worse, like straight on, like that.
Yeah. Like, so here's the sculpted hair. I know he has this. Come on, take your finger off the face, please. There you go. That's the sculpted hair. And honestly, probably their best looking sculpted hair yet. I think it doesn't look chunky. That was my issue with the Joker hair. It was way too chunky looking. I think this looks pretty good. And I
It
do see
looks
what
like
people are
Play-Doh.
saying. It does help with the likeness a little bit, having the hair kind of.
It
And
does, because it looks better right here.
I agree.
yeah,
He looks more, because the thing is, though, is his forehead is off on this sculpt. And it makes him look more closer to Boromir's brother than it does
Faramir. Isn't it Faramir? Boromir's brother?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know his
I
name.
certainly don't know, so I can't. I
Yeah,
can't help
You're
you guys
correct.
there.
That was Faramir.
Yeah, so that, I mean, he looks, with the rooted hair, he looks more like that. But with the sculpted hair, I see the actual actor and the character. And then, along with the Harry Potter stuff, are all of them also with sculpted?
Well, so yeah, funny you ask. So Ron got a sculpted version, Harry got a sculpted version, Hermione did not get a sculpted version. So those who bought the sculpted versions, if they want all three, they have to get the rooted version. And I'm guessing InArt probably was like, okay, we can't really do this and make it look good as good as we want it to in sculpted. Probably because she has that like two-toned hair as well. Apart from obviously it being like a puffier, more loose hairstyle, they probably looked at it and were like, yeah, we can't do this and make it look like up to our standards. So I'm guessing that's why they did that. But yeah, so.
Kind of weird how his like neck piece. I don't know if it's really gonna ship like that, but it's like in his armpit.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I didn't catch that in the video. Here's another, because 160's Nuts was saying that there's better unboxing videos. This is one of the in-hand videos here. Admire the best carvings, guys.
So while you're pulling this up, though, just like a question for the chat. Am I right that the rooted version does look more like Phonomere, if I'm saying that correctly or not?
No, I see what you mean. I think the sculpted looks great. I could make an argument that the sculpted might be better.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it to me versus, and when I saw the rooted hair, it just comes off as the other actor and the other character.
I just hate putting this together, man. I just see that and go, ugh.
Yeah, I mean it does look pretty good in this video too.
I think it's gonna be. That's the thing. It's going to be good to really good, but will it necessarily be great? Which is everybody wants.
Like,
great.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is his hair supposed to be like kind of hanging more over his face?
Yeah, they didn't give him the
bit?
bangs. That's the thing. He doesn't, not bangs, but it's layered. It's like
right.
Shorter,
It's like
shorter
hair. Yeah.
This looks all one length, and that might be what Sean's talking about. See how
that's up to like they should have styled it that way out of the box, but as a user, you could style it that way and make it look better for sure. I think.
Yeah, but for the price, you shouldn't have to.
No, it should be styled out of the box for sure.
It looks so much better from these angles, doesn't it? Like it's just front on.
Yeah.
And by the way, is this the first head sculpt where you don't have to fucking pull the back of the head off? You can just go in from underneath.
Pennywise, you could go in from underneath.
It's so much better, dude.
Yeah, because Pennywise has that really unique shape of his hair, so they probably knew there's no way we're gonna have people. Because after getting that in hand, they put a shit ton of, and I'm glad that they did. They put a shit ton of product on his hair, the main sculpt specifically, to get it to stay in that like weird, unique shape that he has of his hair. There's the sculpted version there.
See, and that looks better to me.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's probably their best sculpted hair yet. I think that looks very. I mean, I still think the rooted hair looks really good. I won't lie. It's a really, and the eyes are beautiful. Like those blue painted eyes, they look really good.
Can you go back like five or so seconds, because they show like the side of the sculpted hair, and there's parts of it that just look like untextured and flat.
I don't like the way it looked on
It's
that
weird.
side profile there. It looked like flared out.
Is there a way you can brighten this up?
Go back like another second or two, if you don't mind. It was when they showed it like
really
from
close up too. I think it was before.
Sorry, yeah. I don't know. I don't mean to be a pain in the ass about it, but like,
Let's see.
it went back to me. It started looking again like what your complaint was, but with their previous sculpted hair, which is also mine. Look at that. Okay, so just you see that spot I'm talking about, like underneath where it says unboxing, like there's like no texture there at all.
Yeah, it is a really weird angle right there, but I see what you're saying. I mean, I don't know. For me, regardless with InArt, it's going to be rooted hair or nothing. After my experience with the Joker, where I wasn't too happy with the sculpted hair, I'm sticking with the rooted hair because I've been very happy with that so far. We got Evil Sneaker in the house popping in. What's up, Steve? Thank you so much for being here. A channel member and a good friend. We appreciate you popping in. But yeah, I mean, I think we kind of hit all the points here on Aragorn. There's not really much else to say. It's going to be one of those things where you get it in hand and you'll either really like it or maybe you'll kind of feel the same way. again, for me, I'm not picking it up. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, I still think the rooted hair version especially looks pretty good. But I do think it's probably, we've seen the most degradation in terms of the head sculpt on this one in particular. So that's just my thought on it. Outfit looks fantastic overall. I think the figure looks very good. But yeah, that's just my thought on it, guys. And I hope we didn't come off as like haters. I think we kind of looked at it objectively, based on the immense amount of feedback that we've seen on Facebook and YouTube. Because a lot of people were angry about this one. But
is anyone getting this?
not me. I mean, I made it pretty clear.
Yeah,
I'm not getting it,
I have it on pre.
Lane, did you get the rooted hair version?
Rooted hair. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, Lane, you'll have to let us know how it looks when you get it in hand.
Yeah, I'll see you in like February of 2025.
If you're still alive by then, you let us know.
Well, no, yeah, well, this is my first InArt. I decided to take a stab at Aragorn, like you said, and if I end up not liking the figure or something like that, then I'll sell it. I just decided to give it a shot. And if I like it, I mean, I'm pretty much probably decided I'm just going to do Lord of the Rings characters if I'm going to get them. So I'm not getting Harry Potter. That's key from going too deep down the, down the InArt hole or something like that, to keep it within reason. But hey, you know what? I think it looks good. I think, at least from what we've seen so far, they've done pretty well, great on a lot of their figures. But you know what? Really good to great. I think you can't say, I don't see what the issue is going to be this year. I think everything. The only thing is, like you talked about, tying the belt. I don't like doing that stuff. But other than that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think at the end of the day, it'll be a great figure in hand. But, that belt thing, I looked at it, I'm like, dude, so many like newer collectors, and granted, these aren't marketed towards like newer collectors, but anyone that picks it up, I think there's going to be a lot of people that are like, this is a pain in the butt. So a minor complaint for sure. And this is, guys, we're not gonna spend any time on this really. I just wanted to show you. This is a base that went up for pre-order, I believe about a year ago, and InArt, I guess, partnered with this company to make a licensed InArt version of it. This is one of the best Joker scenes, so this is really cool to me. They did the diorama bit, and also I want to show you that light actually does light up. So if we look at the two photos here, how cool is that? This is really cool. I mean, for those of you that have the InArt Joker, or even the Hot Toys Jokers, or the new Hot Toys Jokers on pre-order, this is going to be awesome for them. Depending on the price, I might actually pick this up. They did this kind of stone diorama base for Gandalf in a similar fashion, where it was released as a separate piece for the figure. And I thought that was pretty cool. A lot of people said it was a pretty nice quality piece. So definitely curious to see the price on this one, because this is such like an iconic scene they pulled this from. This would look great with that purple coat. And you already have the diorama jail cell base for the jail cell version, so why not grab this for the Joker? So I think that's pretty cool. I just wanted to share it with you guys. I don't want to spend any time on that, but what I do want to give you guys an update on, I know a lot of people are following this journey with me. We have a little painted test shot here of one of the, and let me move us out of the way. We have a little painted test shot here of the Jazz Inc., one of the Jazz Inc. Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman head sculpts. And there's a poll over on Facebook. I encourage you guys to vote on it in the Jazz Inc. Dioramas Facebook group. A lot of people have been commenting like, we want rolling eyes, we want rolling eyes. Are you doing rolling eyes? Please, can we get the rolling eyes? And essentially what Sean Dabbs, who's working on these head sculpts with Jazz Inc. and Yoast, have said is like, if you guys want the rolling eyes, we're going to have to sacrifice some of the extra head sculpts, because he won't be able to stay within his $300 price range that he estimated for us. My personal opinion, I'd much rather have alternate head sculpts than the rolling eyes, because these alternate head sculpts give you so many different expressions. Like they even showed like her eating the bird, or her like licking her hand, that iconic kind of pose you could put her in with her licking her hand like a cat. I think I would rather sacrifice the rolling eyes. I know I love rolling eyes. We love the rolling eyes, but if you're giving me multiple head sculpts, I can work with that, right? So I think I'd much rather have, and you guys in the chat, you could share your thoughts on it, guys on the panel, but I think I'd much rather have multiple head sculpts than have like one sculpt with rolling eyes. It just seems more ideal to me to have different options, and I was really excited to see all the different sculpts they were putting out. So yeah, and I will say though, after looking at the poll, not long ago. I think overwhelmingly people were voting for I'd rather have multiple sculpts than the rolling eyes, so that doesn't surprise me. How do you guys feel about this like test paint though, like in terms of how it looks? I think they did a great job on the eyes specifically. Like Michelle Pfeiffer, she acted a lot with her eyes in this film. And also, I think they did a great job in terms of the tone of her skin. She kind of had that like mid-pale skin tone, and I think it looks really nice here. Obviously, we're only kind of seeing half the sculpt there, but it's a promising look at the prototyping stage for this figure, and I'm actually really excited about this. I'm really excited to see it finally go for pre-order. Last week they showed the material, because of course that's like one of the biggest concerns with this figure is the material choice. And Yost had it on a seamless body, and he was kind of bending it. And I will say, at the very least, it's very flexible. It's not like super tight on the body. So that's a good sign. Obviously, longevity is still in question because we have no idea how it's going to be in terms of longevity. But I think this looks awesome. I don't know how many of you guys on the panel are interested in picking this one up, but I just wanted to share this. I thought this was cool that they're very consistently posting updates. I think Jazz Inc., they're very good about doing updates here and there for projects they're working on. So this is really cool. Also, there's one other thing I wanted to share from Jazz Inc., and we kind of talked about this previously, but this is like a new update from them. So the animated Batmobile is going up for pre-order this Friday, but also they mentioned that they're doing a animated Batman figure, and Yost said that this is the prototype with the cloth suit that they're submitting for licensor approval. So they said the boots and the belt and everything are still a work in progress, but this is what they're submitting to the licensor in terms of the cloth outfit. And dude, these colors are just so iconic and classic, and I just love that kind of gray with the blue in the back with like that backer on the cape. It just looks so good. I don't know how many of you guys would actually pick. I know a lot of us on the previous stream said we're not picking up the Batmobile, but how many of you guys would actually get like this animated Batman figure? I'm very curious. Anybody on the panel picking this up like I am? Nobody. I'm the only one.
I could be tempted, but I have so much more. I'm just. I mean, Hot Toys is just gonna kill us, man, with the rest of the year coming up, and yeah, it's not something that it's not a have to have right now for me.
Yeah. That's fair. It's kind of like... Sorry, go ahead, Sean, and I'll share my thought.
Don't go ahead. You go ahead first.
I was just going to say it's kind of like one of those things you fit it into the budget if you can, unless you're like really a massive fan of the animated. Because, you know, a lot of people aren't going to put the animated films, or excuse me, the animated stuff in general over the main films, you know? So it's a tough one to fit in for sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to like streamline how far out I go with animated stuff, and like I don't know, I'm trying to just stick to like basic. Well, okay, so this is kind of contradictory maybe, but for example, like with Spider-Man, I didn't get any of the new Spider-Man other than anything that is the comic book related. So even if it's from a video game line, like I'm gonna get like I have the 2099 from the game line because it's a comic book look. So I'm just trying to stick with that. Not that this isn't a comic look, but it's definitely more the animated series. So
yeah.
So, for me, I want to see more before I commit. I want to know what the symbol is going to look like on his chest.
That's big. Yeah, you're right. That is a big. Yeah.
I want to know what can happen. The grapple gun. I want to know how that's going to look, how that's going to fit. There's a lot of things I want to know about before I can commit to it, and this right here is not enough for me to commit.
Yeah, this is I will say, like, I was more impressed for sure by the head sculpts that were shown off. And I think Inigo Gil is doing the head sculpts for those, and he's got a really good track record, I feel like, in terms of like what he produces quality-wise, in terms of likenesses and everything. But this is not as much exciting for me yet as the Catwoman, because the Catwoman, he's shown us head sculpts, he's shown us the material and it posing and everything. So I would agree. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the same body that they use, the same Fison body that people use for Arnold, the M33, 34 maybe. I can't remember.
And like another thing too, though, is if Hot Toys was doing like say the Arkham Knight line, and they did an animated Batman, from the Arkham Knight line.
Yeah.
I would buy it. So I'm interested in this just because, you know, Batman in the 90s was like a big deal for me as a kid. You know, watching it, seeing it come on, and
Yeah.
you know, that, and then along with that Catwoman, if you could just go back to that picture of Michelle Pfeiffer. So this right here, okay, one, it's already looking better than what I thought it would.
Yeah.
So, which is good. I'm fine without the rolling eyes. But with the actual leather parts and everything, there should be a high gloss black. But this right here is just a dull, and I know it's just a, you know, just a test right now for it, but
Yeah, that is true because it kind of has to have that same sheen to match the suit.
yeah, it's going to be interesting what they do and how they do it, but it needs to be really high gloss.
Yeah.
And it needs to be like a dead black. And it almost looks like the covering over the nose versus the sides and the forehead are two different types of paint. And it kind of looks almost like there might be three different types of black paint used for this.
Yeah, and I think this is like a kind of a test paint too, so I'm sure we'll see some improvements there.
But the
But yeah,
eyebrow,
good
the
point.
eye, the makeup around the eye, that's...
Yeah, the eye looks very
well
good.
done.
Eye looks very good. An
Also
interesting
the-
comment. Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
No, I was gonna say like her mask hugged her face a lot tighter, right, along the cheek there. But
Yeah.
I think they did that because they're gonna. These are face plates, right? So I think they did that too because she's got like sort of like a smiling. In other words, so that her cheeks don't butt up against that. So it's a good compromise, I think, to give you the faceplates, the swappable plates.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see how they implement that.
Yeah.
So Quan has an interesting comment here. Quan says, as a person with multiple Catwoman sculpts from Sean Dabbs, who is the person that's doing these head sculpts, I think Purrs would put it over the top. Yeah, Quan, it's tough because, like I said, you know, the Purrs is definitely ideal whenever you can implement it for many reasons. But I don't know. I feel like I would rather have multiple faceplates than having the Purrs. I don't know. I just feel like it adds so much to the and you know, the eyes do too. But it's like if I'm going one or the other, would I rather have the ability to stick her tongue out or to move the eyes? It's tough, man. It's tough. I wish, obviously, in a perfect world, we could have both, but Yost is saying that would like shoot up the price significantly, and Sean said it as well. So it's unfortunate, but we'll see what happens with that. Going along with the animated stuff, just a real quick showcase of something that just got announced that'll be going up for pre-order probably very soon with 1/6 kit. This is the same company, S-Hero, that did the animated Batman figures. They did the Dark Batman, the regular suit, and they did the Superman as well. They did tease a Wonder Woman not long ago, and the Wonder Woman has been fully shown here. You do have visible joints there in the shoulders as well as in the elbows. Honestly, this is normally a body I would kind of be like, ugh, but I don't hate it. I really don't. I'm curious to see what the price is. The other ones, I think, have like a more sturdy, like bulkier, like seamless body. I'm very curious to see what they do with this one price-wise, but I still think it's really cool. I just love that animated look. It's definitely not perfect, but this is something that's coming. It says new body that they developed, I guess, specific for this figure. But it's cool. I love to see their dedication to doing these animated figures amongst all of the competitors like So-So and now Jazz Inc. doing an official Batman because there's a lot of competition in this space all of a sudden. A lot of people are doing animated DC stuff, so definitely really neat for sure. Another animated related figure that we kind of briefly mentioned in the beginning that I think looks so freaking cool. And that is the new Mondo Cyclops. And I love that it's X-Men 97
These have
branded.
probably gone up in desirability and wantability. These Mondo X-Men figures probably over the last month or two.
Yeah, for sure. The Rogue web exclusive edition, the ones that the timed edition, is selling for like $800 on eBay, which is insane. But that's X-Men 97 for you, dude. It got really well received, but Like, how cool is
Me,
this?
I love
This
that.
is so freaking cool, man.
His head's moving. Yeah, I
Oh,
love.
dude.
I love
And then-
cell shading on plastic figures is beautiful.
Yeah, this, and it works so well for him, just the way his torso is built and everything. And then this is which makes this timed edition variant very important to buy now, because this is going to shoot up the prices. The swap out leather jacket look here, because it's actually like a swap out set of arms. It's clever how they did it. It's a swap out set of arms, and then this piece kind of fits over the body. They actually show, yeah, right here. Very clever how they did that. But you also get another one of the timed exclusive is this like kind of mega blast here from the eyes when he's really upset.
And also the retro mask head sculpt.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, the retro mask and the unmasked head with the. Yeah, I mean that's kind of like, if you miss out on the timed edition, I'd be really upset.
Like that glasses is like made for that for with the jacket.
Yeah. X-Men said it took 25 minutes for this one to sell, so it's already sold out. That's crazy, but still, I mean, how cool is that, dude? With the glasses, that's so cool, man. Like, I have no interest in collecting this line, but I can appreciate when they do these well. And Mondo has been very dedicated to this line, and it's good to see that, because that tells you they're going to be dedicated to doing 6-scale figures for a while, because these are selling very well. Yeah. Really excited for the RJ McCready. I've already got my mods and stuff planned for him, some accuracy stuff.
They're doing Thundercats 6-scale figures soon.
The Thundercats, and then that animated Batman with the goblin head, and then they're doing the animated. Those I am interested in. The animated I said Batman. The animated Spider-Man and the animated Venom. I am interested in seeing those two, because when they showed them at the panel at whatever con it was, I'm like, that's awesome with the Green Goblin head.
Yeah, they could do that if they do like that version of Hobgoblin and everything would be amazing.
Yeah, see, Justin's still here. You heard me say RJ McCready. Yeah, so I've already got a custom hat for him. I've got a hoodie for him. I've got the exact model of goggles that he has on. Not the lab goggles, but the other goggles that he wears. I just got to paint them, because a damn toys for one of the military figures they made. It's the same pair of goggles. It's just you got to paint them all black.
He looks great.
Yeah, dude.
If you, I always got to throw this out there, man. That the NECA thing line is looking pretty good too, man.
Yeah, and also they're doing Nada from Thing. Sorry, jeez. Why am I blanking? Help me, somebody.
Predator, Naru?
No. The character doesn't. Why am I? Okay, it'll come to me. I don't know why I'm blanking on it. They Live. Why am I blanking on They Live?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're doing, because obviously they never actually say his name in the film.
Yeah.
They're doing Nada from They Live, and I asked them not long ago if they're still doing it, and they said yeah, they plan to. So I'm excited for that. I believe that they will, because they did do the Megan after they showed that long ago. So I'm pretty excited for that. Let's see. Justin says, I have the NECA McCready's, and those are great, but this 1/6 mono is going to be insane. I agree, dude. And yeah, absolutely. Hit me up about it, dude. Tremble says, Euler's experience with Rogue has soured me towards Mondo. I actually didn't see what he had to say about it. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, the eyes, like, are issues with them and everything.
Or like
that
painted incorrectly or something?
They look like derpy, like cross-eyed or something. Like the some of the X-Men mono figures have had some problems, or with the joints and stuff like that, which, I mean...
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. That's like, I would consider that a rare miss for them, because they're usually pretty good. Like, He-Man line's been great.
Yeah. Oh, that looks cool.
That looks great.
And I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I kind of came up with the name for this one, because Mars had it as, like, it said, like, Do Face or something, and I was like, dude, just make it Dual Face. That sounds a lot better. And he actually did it. He changed it to Dual Face. So
that's good.
But dude, how cool is this figure? And not only that, you get a pre-order bonus, but on top of that, if you order it from 1/6 Kit, he has a bonus hands right here with the diamond in it. So that's really cool. Kit's been pretty good about getting pre-order bonuses specifically for ordering from him, because he's like the official seller of Mars toys. Like with the Alfred, for example, the Alfred Pennyworth, he came with the top hat, the bowler hat. So it's really cool to see some more exclusive stuff, but how good does this look, man? And then the Riddler is on the way to me. I should have it any day now. I don't know. This is a film that some people like to crap on, but it's still a classic for me. Classic film from my childhood. So this is really cool to me. And there's been some other third-party options. I think by far this is the best. And I have a lot of confidence in Mars' abilities. Every figure I've received from him has been fantastic. Definitely, in terms of quality, one of the best, if not the best, in terms of third-party for me personally. It's up there with, like, of course, So-So Toys. Brandon Mosley is in here. What's up, Brandon? He says, what's up, guys? Y'all have any tours of y'all's collections? I need to post a tour of my collection, but I'm not very good at videos. Chris actually just posted a new update. If Brick Artemis is here, he's probably going to talk crap to me in the chat because everybody keeps asking me. I'm going to do a collection tour, guys. I'm still working on it. I'm just too much of a perfectionist. I'm like, I want to show my very best. But I got some things I'm working on. I will put out a collection tour eventually, but...
I just did one.
Hey, you don't even
And Sean,
have to
Sean
do
just
the
put out
best.
one. Sean has a 2-part collection tour on his channel as well. So, and he's got a nice little nod to Santa Kramer in his videos as well. If you guys want to look for that.
And just a PSA, he doesn't have to be the best or know how to film a video. Just talk about why you love it or enjoy it, like showing off your collection and people.
Right, Brandon, look at us, dude. Do we look like professionals to you, man? No, we're just guys with cameras, and we're talking about action figures, right? So
Literally, just grab it and speak your heart out.
do your thing, man, and I'm sure we'll be there to watch it. If you send me a link,
Just
I'll
be
check it.
real. That's
Yeah,
the biggest thing. Be real about your collection. It doesn't matter if somebody thinks what you have is a piece of shit or not. You know, screw them. You know, if you like something, just post it. Explain why you like it. You know, what's the thing. You know, if you've made customs, you know, explain your customs that you want to, and that's it. If someone comes,
Sometimes,
no matter what, when you shoot a collection video, someone's going to try and get in your face and be angry with you about something because you have something they don't. Like, no matter what, anytime I do a collection video, there's some jackass out there who will come at me and literally say, you know, you're the reason why I can't buy any clones anymore.
Well, that's
It's your fault, Sean.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, how dare I make an order and when they were in stock forever? How, you know, my bad. You know, let's just blame cancer too on me. You know, the Cubs not winning a World Series for 100 years. Yeah.
All
that is
valid things that are your fault, dude.
Yeah.
That's all I
You
can
know,
say.
Lane not coming through at Christmas.
Yep.
You know, my bad.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, I just watched a
a
collection tour the other day that was just like one Detolf and a guy, you know, with a cell phone just talking about each figure he had in the Detolf. And
Those are the videos
was
I like to
great.
see, man. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I work on my reviews and I try to be like professional, and I know people appreciate that, but sometimes I just like watching like, hey, this is you know, Adam sent me his review earlier, and I didn't finish it, Adam, but I started to watch it, and those are the type of videos that I like watching too. Is like just a guy with his camera, and he's like, I'm really excited about this figure, check it out, and he had his daughter involved filming it for him and stuff, and that's cool to me, you know. And I can't remember the dude's name. One of my favorite reviewers from back in the day when I first got into Hot Toys. It was just this guy at his kitchen table, just open it, like he had the shipper box and everything, just open it up from scratch. And
I know that kid. He was like a younger kid. Yeah, I know.
yeah, he had the
know,
curly hair and stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Boston started out like that too before. He
Yeah.
did professional
Then he got like
French.
super slick, but don't be
Yeah.
intimidated.
And now, you know, and now I kind of started that way too, and now here I am trying to look professional, and people are asking me, you know, how I adjust my lighting and stuff, and I'm like, dude, it's like, just play around with it.
Bro,
Start,
one of-
just
I'll
start
give you an
filming. You
example.
gotta
One of my
start
first
somewhere.
was like with styrofoam, like a makeshift freaking styrofoam.
I wish you guys could
light
see how
box.
we film videos, right? I wish you guys could see what we do. Like, I'm filming on a plastic table with a tablecloth, and I just happen to make it look pretty decent. You know?
Here's another example. D Knight doesn't like have like overly crazy production value. Just put some
Dude,
music
it's just
behind
death,
it, and
yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
great.
Yep.
So, a lot said for basically just do your thing, man. Don't be worried about how you sound, how you look. Just, if you want to film your stuff and show it off, like Sean said, go for it, man. People will be there to watch it, I promise you.
Yeah, and it just doesn't have to be Hot Toys either. You know, if you collect something
Yeah.
else, show all of it all at the same time.
For sure. I you know, we all collect a little bit of everything. Like, I don't make videos on it just because you guys wouldn't want to see that. But, you know, I collect vintage collection figures. Oh, look, guys, I already have the Hot Toys Darth Revan. Anything, you know, anything you collect. People, there's always, you know, like Mafex figures and stuff. Those have a huge, huge following. NECA, crazy. But yeah, I hope we can inspire you a little bit to do your thing on YouTube. You got to start somewhere, and it's time to start, Brandon. It's time to start, dude. And if you need any help with anything, just hit me up. You can find me on any social media platform. I'm on there, mainly YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. But
yeah, it's easy to have a YouTube channel, right, Lane? Me and you.
Mike's vibes are always immaculate. When he came in with the cigar, I knew he was ready to rock tonight. So, guys, this has been a very long stream, 2 hours and 18 minutes, but I had a blast. Sorry if it got a little long-winded sometimes, guys, but we had a lot of topics to cover, and I'm glad that we got to talk about some great stuff tonight.
Yep.
Thank you, everybody in the chat, for hanging out with us. 48 people still watching at the very end of the stream. Please consider dropping a like on the stream on your way out. Pump those numbers up for me. I would appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Guys, I have a couple reviews up on the channel. I know I was a month behind on reviews, but I did put up a review for the Iconic Studios Ken Masters. I think it's still the only review on YouTube. I guess there's not a love for Ken, but there's a lot of love for me. What an amazing figure, guys. Please check out the review. I apologize. I did completely leave out the accessory segment. I filmed it, and then when I posted, I was like, 10 minute review video. That's short for me. And then I started watching. I was like, whoops. But you guys get the point. I think I did a good job at showcasing the figure. So definitely check it out. Such a fantastic piece from Iconic. And then I did a video on the Toys Era Joel from The Last of Us. If you haven't seen that already, awesome figure as well. Highly recommend checking out those videos. And then, like I said, on the horizon, hopefully it's here tomorrow, because Wednesday is my day that I usually get to film stuff easy, because it's like a free day for me. My Riddler from Mars Toys should be here, the King of Enigma. So look out for that on the channel. You guys know I love doing my third-party reviews especially. So, and thank you so much, Justin, you generous guy. You. Thank you so much for 3 months. You are too kind, my friend. You are too good to me. You guys are all too good to me. Moose, all the channel members, Justin, you guys are great. Thank you so much. Moderators as well, you guys carry the chat. Thank you, everybody, for dropping all of the links, especially Big Dog Pound. He's on fire with the links tonight. And on his birthday, you made him smell smoke, Mike, on his birthday. Like I said, I thought he was turning 25 today, but I was way off, apparently. But all jokes aside, once again, a big happy birthday to Graham, dude. Enjoy the rest of your day. I can't believe you're spending it watching us goofballs on stream. Like, what are you doing, man? But I'm sure you've had a fun day, and you got a lot of stuff planned for the weekend. So that's going to wrap it up, though, guys. Once again, check out Collecting Madness on YouTube. We just kind of promoted Sean and Chris before the end of the stream. It feels weird, but it fit perfectly. So new collection tour over on Collecting Madness's channel. Links in the description. Another collection tour from Sean the Hot Toys Nightmare. And absolutely, you think I have a big collection. I know you haven't really seen most of it, but Sean has a way bigger collection than me. His collection's insane, so you got to check it out. He's put a lot of time and care into it. So, and again, there's a Santa Kramer joke thrown in one of those videos, so you have to watch it just to try to find that. It's like, where's Waldo, right? You got to go find the Santa Kramer joke somewhere. And once you comment it, you have to comment down below in his video the timestamp of where you found it, just for fun. Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, because I need those likes, comments, and subscribe.
Yeah, pump them numbers up over on Sean's channel. And then, of course, as always, Mike, instead of Weapon X, he's Weapon L tonight. Or Thrawn's Office, as he's officially known. Links in the description. Follow Mike on Instagram. I'm sure he's going to chat you up. We all are like a big happy family, so we're all chatting all the time. I'm chatting with Mike. Right, you're going to get voice notes from Mike. I'm chatting with Mike, Justin, Gio, Steve, Graham, Brick, you name it. I'm chatting with everybody. Yeah, check him out on Instagram. And then the legendary Lane Kramer. You can see him everywhere, but nowhere at the same time. That's your Riddler
I love
and the dab at the end, the Lane Kramer dab at the end. We love that. But guys, it's gonna wrap it up. Once again, thank you to each and every one of you. Sorry, I know we had a lot of topics, so sorry I didn't read the comments as much as I usually do, but I appreciate you guys nonetheless. That's gonna wrap it up, though, guys. If I don't see you, have a wonderful weekend, a wonderful figure-filled weekend. As all as these invoices are going out for Mace Windu, Return of the Jedi C-3PO, Catwoman. 501st from Kenobi, you name it, the invoices are coming, so have those wallets prepared. Yeah, exactly. So have those wallets prepared. let us know about your figures, guys. I always love hearing about new stuff. So, and join the Hot Toys Hotline 6-Scale Scallywags Discord server, guys. Lane has reminded me that I've been flaking on the Discord. It's been dead in there, so we need to liven it up a little bit. So, join the Facebook group, join the 6-Scale Scallywags Discord server, and let's get it popping in there. So, but that's it, guys. I'm sweaty. I gotta go. Long night ahead of me. Take care, guys. We'll see you next time.
Oh, really?
The Hotline.
Yeah, make it work.